I have a moment of panic where I realize that I have not checked the cameras. Are they correct?
No,
absolutely.
No.
Nope. Okay.
I'll be will.
I mean, I'm happy.
Syrinx is in the right place. Everyone else is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, you're GMing now, LZT. Oh, no, you're
Hey. What a good day for him. He's so visually
And we need to
Yeah, exactly.
gifted.
swap
And
that
I volunteered for this because I get to play it. Now I get to fucking DM anyway. This is bullshit.
Good morning, time zone, everyone in chat.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
up? While
hello.
Sheepy fixes
Happy
random
time zone.
shit.
We're here
How are
to
you
cover
doing?
for Sheepy's error.
We were just asking Elf what it feels like to break your arm.
one.
So,
two,
Because
honestly,
if you didn't know, Elf
Yeah.
broke their fucking arm.
I did, yeah. Cinecast.
Like legit broke. And I've broken my arm twice as a child, but like I don't remember it, and so that's why I
So,
was asking.
You know what's really interesting is it hurt way less than I thought it would hurt. Like
That's
the
why
idea,
I was asking.
the
Yeah.
idea of breaking a bone, I was like, that's gonna hurt like hell. But
Yep.
it actually, like, I slipped, I fell, I heard it snap, and
Oh.
then I got up and was like, that could have just been like the joint, right? Like it'll be fine. And then I
just the
kept, and then I kept unpacking the car. Like I kept.
Shut up with
I
the
went to
broken
go-
arm.
Yes, yeah. I was
I'm
like,
not-
it's fine, it's totally okay.
How is that the most perfect
It's
thing
okay.
that's ever
I'll walk you
happened?
off.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we?
Are we?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the QT, episode number 4. Apologies for having you guys vamp for me for a little bit while I was.
That's okay. I'm happy to yell about my.
I was
injuries.
very curious about the break, to be honest, because I just don't remember it, and I've heard breaks are way less terrible than a sprain. I don't know.
Really?
Just kidding. Yeah, I've heard sprains are like there's something like your body doesn't release the same painkillers when you sprain something, and so it heals way
It's-
slower. And
Well, because it's soft
Yeah.
tissue versus like
yes,
your fucking bones.
yeah,
Right.
the redundancy. Oh my God, Strowman.
Yes, welcome to the QT episode number 4. It's good to be back. It's nice to be back. I'm glad to be back. We're back. And, just very quickly, before we get into the show, go check out the Patreon, go check out the Twitter, go check out the Discord. If you want to keep up to date, Twitter and Discord are your friends. If you want to support the channel, Patreon is your friend. Essentially, you can go there, you can pledge for as little as like $3 a month, and you will be contributing to cast pay. Interestingly enough, we're on episode 4, so you guys get paid soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We get to eat.
I mean, it's
sad streamer life.
but
Just eating my 50-cent ramen packets while I wait for Sheepy to pay me.
I mean, ramen packets are lovely. They're all crunchy and
I'm just fucking.
Elf's been nibbling the cast. Don't lie.
I asked for an edible cast.
Delicious fiberglass.
After a few weeks, it'll have enough dead skin in it to be edible.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, there is
Getting
the,
ants in it, I can tell you, is the worst thing ever.
Oh my God! Stop, Sheepy, go.
It sucks really
So
bad.
there is the Patreon. Go check it out. There's some benefits to that, like community night where we play board games and things like that. I'm also doing a reaction on the Patreon where you get to watch along with me, where I watch a show that makes me cry. So if you're interested in that,
What show? Which show is it?
it's called Girls Lost Tour. It's an anime.
Girls Last Tour. I
It,
didn't know that one.
I was hoping it would be Picard. You just cry because it's so bad.
I mean,
Oh my God.
I've heard better things about the 3rd season, but I'm not a Star Trek fan, so yeah. Don't come at me.
Moral
with
of
that
the
stuff.
story is supporting the Patreon means more shows on this channel
Yes.
and more of us.
Essentially, yes. The more
Yeah, us specifically. We're yeah.
the more support the Patreon gets, the more I can afford to pay the cost, the more shows I can afford to do. So
The
give-
more us,
Yeah.
basically.
The higher probability of us.
give it a thought, because currently I don't need to be out looking for sponsors. I don't need to do all that like intrusive advertising, watermarks and stuff like that. But as time goes on, I may need to. So And also, I'm bad at that shit. I've spoken to like 3 or 4
Me
sponsors, and they're like, "Thank you for your interest," and I'm like, "Thank you for pretending like you had interest. Goodbye."
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Pretty much. Turns out they want those intrusive watermarks and ad reads and things. Oh, as a sidebar, one of the things, just for the regular viewers and those of you who are patrons already, one of the things I'm considering doing is submitting to you the ability to create an ad read for me to read. So you can create your own advertisement as one of the higher tier patrons, and I'll read your advertise. Or you give me a subject and tell me to create an ad read for
The
it. And
potential
I'll do it for you.
chaos is.
I'm gonna do that just to pimp up my own
same,
website.
same.
Feel free.
I just want to write something for you to read. Oh my god.
Sub to the Patreon, or Elf will have to pilot the Ava again. Get in the robot.
So, let's not talk about my used underwear.
What?
There was talk about, people were talking about merch on my Discord, and then someone was like, "I already want Sheepy to sell used underwear," and I was like, "My used underwear, or can I steal it from people's washing lines?"
Has to be your own.
Some.
The
Does it support Patreon?
the gesture is meaningless if it's not your own.
Yeah. If
You
it
don't know
supports the
that.
Patreon, I could.
Yeah,
I
we're
could see
here
my
for
way.
it.
But yeah, essentially, I'm going to update the Patreon with that and let you guys know in the Discord about how that will work and that. I think it could be a lot of fun. So, moving on.
That sounds like a fucking blast.
It seems like a good idea for patron stuff, a little bit of fun. Yes, the QT. Oh, wait. I am playing music. Cool. I had it muted on the go.
Oh yeah, I hear it. It's pretty.
Oh, I should be on the Roll20. That's it.
Got lyrics this time.
Well, this is the theme song for the QT.
I just usually have it muted. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Because I have it muted and then I
well,
forget to unmute it.
You guys know all of your characters have a theme song, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
theme songs all have lyrics. It's too intrusive during the song to.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk while someone else is talking or singing. So, we have the instrumental versions for the show. Last week. Oh god, I'm putting myself on the spot now because I got distracted by talking about my underwear and ad reads. Last week we had a very interesting set of what's it called? Encounters for our students. Aside from for Tori, who already had an encounter, and managed to talk her way, interestingly, quite easily talk her way out of the hospital. After she decided she was okay and she could leave, she convinced a nurse and a doctor to let her go, even though they both...
Because Tori gets to decide those things now.
Tori gets
I was gonna
to
say that
decide
she kind of had encounters, but it's more like people are now encountering Tori.
Yeah. Moving on from that, George and William went to go and investigate the missing friend, which is Casey Winter. They found out that he'd been going to a restaurant that was called Fury's, and George, in the most hilarious decision we've had so far, I feel, except for maybe agreeing to drive someone home, which we'll talk about later, decided to talk to a chef who was having a quick smoke out back. When talking to him, she went back into the restaurant and took on the challenge of eating as much as possible, and succeeded where many others had failed.
Miraculously,
It was a lot of food, and I've been told it made everyone hungry, which I apparently have to apologize for.
it was a wonderful description of quite the spread.
Which, unfortunately, when she finished, she had a quick chat with Chef Jeff, and then passed out and was driven home and put in bed to sleep off what is probably going to be a fairly large food hangover. thus having an encounter with a supernatural and inheriting the glutton, which is what George now has to deal with. Obviously, we already know that Tori has been partially taken over by the siren. Additionally, after that, William decided to go to the library, because why wouldn't you? Went to the library, had a bit of a look around, found a book that was weirdly helpful for the exact problem.
Very specific.
Yeah, very specifically helpful for the problem that he was currently facing. And when he got to the middle page, there was just lots of symbols and weirdness and this big kind of like red-yellow eye that essentially leapt out of the page and into his right eye. He forgot that it happened after it happened and just saw a blank page. But when he went to the toilet a little bit later and looked in the mirror, there was a quick flash, which he so far has waved off as kind of being, you know, like a little hallucination. Hasn't had enough sleep, been studying too hard, etc.
And it was a self-help book.
I did
With a
consider
demon
getting
eye.
I did consider getting either a red contact lens or making an eye patch with a red eye on it.
Ooh, that'd
Because
be
that would be
sick.
cool, but I've been so busy with essays, I
Yeah.
haven't had any time to do
Yeah.
anything.
And also, maybe leave your eyes alone for a bit.
Yeah, your eyes
Yeah,
need
but
a
that was
break.
before this shit
Oh,
happened.
okay, yeah.
The eye patch might be a great idea.
Finally,
Exactly.
Finally, Cecilia, for reasons known only to herself, agreed to give a lift to, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to remember the name.
Christine.
Christine
Mean.
McCabe, who, on starting to drive her back towards her house, found out that she used to date a certain young gentleman who Cecilia may or may not know.
Yeah, no is a loose word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, y'all can judge, y'all can speculate. Only I know the truth.
I don't know.
That's
That
true.
conversation was very illuminating.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Culminating with Christine asking Cecilia to stop the car, jumping out, and basically flouncing into the woods that was in a nearby park.
That's a very interesting
I
description.
know. I like the image of flouncing.
With Cecilia worrying and really not sure exactly what she's wanting to do. Eventually she hears a scream in the woods, and kind of around the same time a small fox kind of stumbled out of the bushes and fell over, kind of breathing heavily. Being Cecilia, she ran over to help the fox, and some type of transference happened with an energy passing between her and the fox, and the fox itself disappearing when Christine reappeared and said she saw a big spider and got scared and screamed. Ending up with an argument between Cecilia and Christine, where Christine just stomped off and Cecilia headed home. With now all four of our students being, to some degree, involved in the supernatural world. To reiterate, Tori has the siren, George has the glutton, Cecilia has the beastmaster, and William has the devil's eye. Finally, we had one last properly important scene, I feel. We did have a little bit of philosophy with Morgan Light.
We're gonna talk about the weird guy, though, right?
Yeah,
That's-
we're going to talk about Bertrand. Both George and William had an encounter with a strange, morbid-looking, kind of dull-looking man, dressed in a suit and quite sallow grey features, called Bertrand Grey. And would either of you like to explain the interaction you had there? Because I think everyone's confused by that interaction.
I am not going to explain that at all, so I'm going to leave that over to Kate.
I mean, the dude acted like he kind of knew who we were or something like that. It was very bizarre interaction. Like, he didn't call us out by name or anything, but it's like he could tell that something had happened to William and I because we had already gone through our thing, and he could tell that. But he was looking for someone who had a what was it, like a something had happened to them by the lake.
Yeah.
Essentially, he was like looking for anyone that had incurred something at the lake. And of course, we probably all heard about Tori's thing. So my character thought he was maybe, because he's dressed like in a suit and shit, and we're in a tiny town where that's not really a thing. So I thought maybe he was an investigator looking into foul play. So I run up to him and go like, "Are you talking about Tori? Is she okay?" Like a dumb shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, so it's happened," or something like that. And he just gets like really mysterious.
There was also
And a spooky guy.
there was a fair amount of you both lying and him being like, "Oh, okay, so this is the truth."
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
do you
was-
remember your fake names?
Yeah, we gave him fake names, but I gave him my middle name, which was stupid.
Yeah.
I was Marcus with K.
Yeah. But I
George
think
was-
he
George
saw
was
straight through it.
Teresa.
Yeah.
He also introduced himself as a
Liar and a con man.
liar and a con man and a healer and something else. I can't remember.
Liar, conman, healer, fixer, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he gave us he offered his business card,
And you
which
took,
was nothing.
you
but
took
like
both of them.
we did. Well, we kind of like backed off at first, and he was gonna walk away from us, and I was like, "Just kidding," and I snagged both of them.
Oh yeah, and he
Because
was
I don't
doing the micro expression reading style a la Light of Me,
Helper.
Tim Roth.
It was helper, not fixer. Healer, helper.
Helper, yeah.
And that's what it's what it says on his card. He doesn't have a contact number or an address on the card, so.
Oh my god, imagine an ad read for that dude.
I'll talk to the patrons.
Damn, that's a great idea. It's fantastic.
So, with that all said and done, how about we start off? Yeah. And another evening in Quail Town. Although this time it's a lot harder to tell that it's evening because we are actually going to fade in close shot on a basement. Shrouded in darkness, no light, and the sound of scratching. Shh, 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 as a circle is drawn on the floor. Strange symbols are scrawled in the sides. There's an open book by this kind of shadowy figure that's bent and knelt down and doing all of these things. Until eventually it's finished and the figure stands up and there's low murmuring in a dialect that's really untranslatable. Like it's not English. It's very strange. And eventually a small like little red spark appears in the circle in the air. Above the circle in the air, and a small tear in the air opens, like very vibrant, very neon red flare as it opens, and a very small figure steps out. Steps onto the ground and looks around for a second and says, "I hope you found my sacrifice." And the figure says, "Oh, there's a sacrifice? I wasn't actually aware of that." It's like, "If you're going to command me, you must prepare a sacrifice, otherwise I can't carry out your orders." And the other, like, shadowy figure says, "Oh, I actually haven't prepared it. What exactly? It didn't say anything in the book about a sacrifice. What is the sacrifice?" And the smaller figure kind of looks around again, like left and right, kind of, whole body movement, and says, "A body. I need a body to possess. I need a body to move, to carry out your orders. And if you don't have a body, well then, I'm not under your command. And it zips, and there's like a kind of like little fiery embers fly up as it zips towards the wall and scrambles up the wall, and there's a smash as the window is smashed, and then a kind of scurrying away, and in the distance, the camera hears a and the shadowy figure kind of clenches his fists a couple of times and goes, shit. And we fade out on the scene as slowly night turns to day. Another morning and another beautiful day in late summer in Quail Town. So, my first question is would anyone like to enact a morning routine or have a scene with family, etc. before you go off to school? Is there anything that you feel might need to be said or might need to be done? If not, it's perfectly fine, but...
I don't think so. Oh,
GP,
Cece.
did I ever? It's more of a question first.
Sure.
Because last time we briefly skipped over to the rest of the night, the morning, and then went to philosophy class. Does that mean that like Cecilia had no problems at home? Like no one noticed the weird evening of coming home late and stuff like that?
No.
It's her secret.
You're you actually didn't see either of your parents when you came back. You were late for dinner, which was what's the name of her? Technically speaking, you were supposed to have dinner with Tina.
Yeah.
And she waited, and when you came back, she had dinner with you, and she'd kind of kept the food warm and stuff, and that. But from what she told you, both of your parents were really busy throughout the day. Apparently, there's been a break in the fence on the edge of your property, so they had to fix that and make sure that nothing had gotten through. Didn't seem like it, but they're being careful. When your dad essentially just went out with a hunting shotgun, just in case there's some wild animal that's trying to encroach. Couldn't see anything, couldn't see any signs. So
Okay, then I don't need to go through anything, but I want it to be known that Cecilia will count all of the chickens once more and
all of the
will
chickens
feel
are there.
extremely bad about having the secret from her parents. So
Noted.
if she sees any of them in the morning, she'll be like, it'll be very obvious that there's like something she's on edge about. She's like, no, everything's fine.
Okay.
But yeah.
In that case, is there anyone else who'd like to have a conversation or establish anything?
Would my little sister be weirded out by what happened? I mean, I imagine we'd have to have some sort of conversation like, hey, you were brought home and left in bed and we're in a coma all night.
It's not the first time you've been brought back kind of semi out of it.
Oh, so maybe she thought I was coming from a party or something like that.
A party or just like an excessive hangout with Joel.
Yeah.
George
Okay.
being hella drunk.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, then if she had no questions, I don't think I really know what's going on yet other than that void within me.
Okay.
Chef Jeff and his weird
Yeah.
statements about it being not as bad as it seems or whatever.
I probably just thought that was a nightmare or something.
Okay, honestly, yeah. Like
Uh,
in your food coma, you probably
Yeah.
have like the
Yeah.
Like a pure white space where I don't have feet or hands, and like
Man.
a chef comes out of nowhere and talks to me. Totally think that's
Yeah,
like a food, like a food
What?
sweats.
George is like, man, I am not going to eat that challenge again before
Yeah.
bed. Holy shit.
that was a bad trip.
I would say that you have some remnants of that experience, of that dream with you still. I don't think it's super solid, but possibly in the future it may come back into focus when you have more context.
Okay.
So feel free to take that under advisement, essentially.
Okay.
In that case, In that case, why don't we start with the class? Morning class. And, just... It is a class with... with Mr. Ashford.
Oh, yes.
And he's standing there in front of you all and looks around and says, "So, with what we've been discussing, what do you think is the most important thing historically and throughout the entirety of human existence when it comes to winning a conflict, be that a war or one of the more calm, economic, or anything else? How do you succeed when you come into conflict with another faction, another entity, another country? Yes, you down front.
Isn't it easy? You just have to be better than the others.
Really?
Obviously, then you're winning, right? If you're better than the others. The ones who lost, they weren't better than the opponent.
Stalingrad, World War II. The Germans were better than the Soviets. Explain how they lost, if all you need is to be better.
Well, if you would teach us about that specific battle first and actually teach about it, then I could explain
We'll
it to
get
you.
to that at some point. For right now, yes, small goal.
So, better is a loose way of saying it, but I think what Cece's trying to say is confidence.
Confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You ever speak to General Custer about confidence?
Obviously, it doesn't work every time.
Right.
Nothing works every time. There is no
Well,
end
there
all,
is
be all.
something that works every time. Otherwise, why would I ask the question?
Because it's a trick question.
We're talking about history here. About history around the world. Why would I ask a trick question? Yes.
Tori's
Little
just
man.
okay.
Information? Superior information?
Not terrible, but explain Vietnam.
Well, if you know where the enemy are, then you can take them out.
And did that work in Vietnam?
Well, didn't they have kind of rubbish information though?
For the majority of the war, they knew exactly where the enemy were. The Ho Chi Minh Trail, the capital cities, they bombed them repeatedly for almost 10 years.
Okay.
Alright. And he goes to a couple of other people, and a couple of people are like supplies and, economics and etc. And he looks up and he says, "Angry girl, you haven't posited a possibility yet. What do you think?"
I don't know, understanding the other side's motives, I guess.
What an interesting answer. Possibly the most wrong we've had so far, but an interesting answer nonetheless.
You asked her if she talked to General Custer recently, so I don't know where this is going.
Obviously, I don't think that she talked to General Custer.
Obviously.
I meant that General Custer had confidence, and look where that landed him.
Okay.
What I was saying is the morale at home. That is always the deciding factor in any conflict. If you affect the morale of your enemy, of the everyday person, of the ones who support the effort against you, if you get them to lose faith or to lose morale, you win. Every time. So, maybe you want to write that down? Anyone?
Will writes it down.
Yeah.
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Tori's currently trying to think of an example.
Will does not agree, but he writes it down.
Any example to disprove the theory?
Yeah. Well, the Alamo, they did not lose because of fucking morale. They got shot.
Remember.
The 5th of November?
The Alamo.
Oh. I think that's just remember the Alamo, not remember the Alamo.
It is. I just
remember
kept going
the
with
5th of
it.
November. LCT's birthday. It's easy to remember.
Oh.
Yeah, super
It's-
easy.
And
Sorry.
Mr. Ashford keeps talking, and he goes back and forth, and he talks about how to affect morale and all of those type of things as well. And the class continues. You have other classes, obviously, during the day. However, none of those will be highlighted. And
I want you to highlight physics, please. Shippy.
okay.
Can we get some physics?
Yeah. You
Ooh.
are in physics for a hot second, and it's like
A hot second.
a hot second.
You bastard.
And
Damn,
it's
it's
like
hot.
it's like electrons, crazy, right? and then it, for some reason, the camera like pans away. It's almost like
Electrons, probability density functions. How do they even work?
There's a shot of the physics class, and it's just the teacher going, "An object in motion stays in motion," and then it's done.
the camera goes past the like classroom, and it's got that like slightly opaque window, so you can only see the teacher. Like you can hear the voice of the teacher and like the movements. And then, like later on, we pan into the classroom. It's just like a dummy who's like moving by pulleys, and it's got recorder going. And it's like
I
blah,
like
blah,
the idea
blah,
of
electrons,
I like
blah,
the idea
blah.
of it being a yellow and black like crash test
test
dummy
dummy.
with like
Yes.
a vest and a hat.
Oh, or it's like that one like older lady with a very high pitched voice that does like these crazy experiments, and it's like,
my God,
oh look,
yes.
if I put fire here, and it's what will happen? What will happen? And then she's like, oh, let's find out, and then she like explodes. Like,
Has anyone seen that video of Grandma who's like, I've heard if you put Mentos in Coke, then
Yes.
man, I love her because she did it again.
I have not seen that, but no, I want to.
She did one where she dropped it and it just explodes in her face and goes out, and she's like, "Rah!" And then like a week later,
Is that what she sounds like?
literally what she sounds like. And then like a week later, she does another TikTok that's the exact same thing, and she's like, maybe it'll be different this time. Spoiler warning, it wasn't.
Look, the scientific method requires that you do multiple rounds
True.
of tests.
Yeah,
Indeed.
can we discuss why that works in physics? Can we discuss the nucleation points
I'm
that
not-
are plentiful on Mentos, which is why
Bitch, I graduated.
No?
I don't
Okay.
want to do this again.
she'd be just
Physics.
nod and say yes.
Sure, physics was one of my worst subjects.
Same.
I
Um,
literally
Hard no.
never took a
Hard
physics
no.
class, I feel
God
like.
damn it.
So, we're going to go to lunch break, where classes stop. There's only one thing I need to highlight, so going past that, if anyone else wants to claim a conversation or claim a scene, let me know. I'll just do mine quite quickly, which is very essentially, George and William, would you both be together with Joel probably for
Yeah.
lunchtime, I'm guessing?
Yep.
In that
Joe,
case,
fuck yeah.
in that case, In that case, we'll join George and William and Joel. Essentially, after classes, kind of just, I think almost naturally at this point, you kind of group together as a group. I feel like maybe William, unfortunately for him in a way, has replaced Casey in a little, like there's a little bit of, you know, kind of he's filled that spot for now.
A little bit.
Okay. And as you walk into the cafeteria, you know, there are kids all over the place, like sitting down, eating and chatting and stuff. There's not much of a queue or anything, so you can kind of go straight there. There is, however, Mr. Knight is talking to Jasmine, the lunch lady.
Miss Peach?
Yeah. And you catch a little bit of what he's saying. Essentially, what he's saying as you walk towards them is the tail end of talking actually interestingly about Casey. He's just basically saying, you know, it's strange how the boy disappeared. Like, did you see him? Did he hang around the school after school was out? Because he had a feeling like he may have snuck back in or something like that. And Jasmine was saying, no, she was here and she was clearing up and no students stayed and very politely, Mr. Knight says, "Oh, thank you very much. I just thought I'd check and if you remember anything, you know, do let me know. I'm like to find him if I could." And then as he turns around, he almost bumps into you three. "Oh, apologies. Sorry. Enjoy lunch." And kind of like shuffles past you. Like, he looks distracted and a little bit, you know, busy. And as you come up to the cafeteria, the line, Jasmine smiles a little bit tenuously. She's, you know, kind of been harangued by one of the teachers, and says, Joel, hey, sorry, I don't remember your name.
William. You can call me Will.
Okay. And you know, you kind of gets ladles out your food and all that type of stuff, and she looks at you and says, "George, you..." Oh, sorry, I have a little additional thing. William, when Mr. Knight turned around and almost bumped into you, you got a twinge in your eye, just almost like a trapped nerve, just twitch. That's
I'm short on potassium. Okay,
probably, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, but I definitely take note of that. Not like, oh my god, it triggered my eye. More like, hey, why is my eye acting funny?
It's essentially, you'd be like, that's weird. My eye started twitching, but
yeah. But also, is that uncommon? Because I have that shit all the time.
I would say in general it's uncommon. It's probably happened once or twice, but
oh, okay.
So
okay,
it wouldn't be something where you're like, that's weird. It's probably a devil in my eye. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the power of hell.
Yeah.
Sorry. So going back to in the line, Jasmine, when you get to the end, says, "George, have you been eating all right?"
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it looks like you haven't been eating properly. Look.
Thank you?
No, I don't mean it like that. I know that sometimes with your mom, it can get a little difficult. Just for context here, like, you and Jasmine are pretty close, and she does sneak you food now and then.
She's probably, I don't think she's ever, I think we have one of those relationships where, like, she's probably aware, you know, of my home life or, like, you know, about my mom, but we never ever speak about it.
I mean,
this is a strange deviation. Right?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a deviation.
For her to mention it probably throws me off my feet a little bit.
And I will say she lives out that direction too, from what you know.
Yeah. Have you seen my mom?
No, not for a while.
Me neither.
Well, tell you what, we have some spare meals. If you come back after school tonight, I can actually probably give you a little, maybe like a week's worth. And it won't be missed because we've got too many at the moment.
She'd probably be like, the shame of like, fuck, I can't say no to that. And kind of like look down at her tray and be like, that'd be awesome.
All right. And she's like super unsubtly being like, shh, like, right?
Yeah. Whole line of kids just right next to me staring at her like.
You can tell she's not good at the whole. She'd make a terrible spy. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So the potato dish is delicious today. Thank you. And I'll just like turn away. And, basically, I feel like she's that type of person that you have to walk away. Because the conversation will just keep going.
She did attempt to say it away from Joel and William. So
yeah.
It'd be down to you down to them whether they heard it or not, or whether it was kind of like a private aside.
I think I definitely didn't hear anything. I am busy with getting some slop or whatever is on the menu.
We know
potato
Joel.
Dish.
We know Joel, even if he was standing right next to you and looking at Jasmine, he probably didn't hear it anyway. So
nah. Nope. He was just.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they probably didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Or realize anything off. Yeah.
That's it for you. If anyone would like to have a lunch scene or conversations, things like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Cecilia hanging out with us at this lunch period?
Good question.
I was about to say I can't.
I'm really excited.
You can't not have an answer here.
I want to know what Cecilia's power says about
Me
Tori.
too.
Is what I want to know.
Aside, has anybody seen Mean Girls?
Yes.
You know the scene when she's talking about high school and they're all like wild animals around a water fountain in the
Yeah,
mall? That's
it's
all I
so-
picture in
yeah.
Cecilia's mind. Like, I'm waiting for it. Go on. I'm so sorry. I've been fantasizing about it for 7 days now.
I definitely think there's like a moment where Cecilia just got like her lunch and is holding the little tray, looking around at the lunch, like the cafeteria, and then like debating what she will do, and then looking outside at like the few tables where she would probably just like go sit with some people, and sometimes they would just stand up and walk away, and sometimes she would be allowed to just sit there, or like she could go sit with the few people she knows wouldn't walk away, but like that would be it.
Yeah.
And then she looks over at the table where Tori and her friends are sitting.
And Tori has prime real estate in this cafeteria. It is like
prime real estate.
Just the best table that you could ask for. I'm just saying.
And I think like because of the fact that Tori was like found unconscious by her and stuff, I think there's like still this thing where Cecilia was probably surprised that she was already in class yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Also, Cecilia knew they were going to try and keep her overnight, right?
Yeah,
that was...
right.
Well, she knows medical background stuff. Like, she'd probably be fully aware that'd be an overnight
know
stay.
that the doctors wanted to keep
Yeah.
her in.
Uh-oh.
So she would hesitantly start walking over to that table. And first of all, see if like she's allowed to sit down.
Tori is all smiles and in the middle of a conversation with Nicole and Laura. When you walk over, and looks up and sort of just goes like, "You can sit. You don't have to hover."
Just gotcha. Gotcha.
I was gonna say as well, due to the multiple instances now of Tori opening a space for Cecilia, when Cecilia walked over, one of the girls would probably slide aside so that she can
There
sit
is
down
space
as well.
for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just shove someone off.
Someone like everyone on the bench like has to shove
Slides down
one
one.
seat,
Well,
and then the last one just falls off.
I definitely think there's that sort of like group dynamic where as a new person is entering said group, some other members of the group may be worrying if they will have to exit it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh god, that's so toxic.
Well, I mean,
Welcome to high school.
Yeah.
it's teenage girl toxic as shit. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she will sit down gratefully. But she won't talk about the hospital much more than just saying which even much more than just like briefly asking like, oh, like everything's still alright, like, you know.
And Tori's like, yeah, no problems, I'm fine.
I have a question for Cecilia.
Yeah.
How focused are you on the group and the dynamics, and offset by how like nervous and uncomfortable are you kind of given the current situation?
All right, so Cecilia definitely wants to ask more about like Tori's situation at the hospital.
Yeah.
Because she knows that she was meant to be kept there. So I think she would be observant of the group, as in like she would ask her first question, then like let the conversations go on a bit.
Okay.
And if there's a moment that she can briefly catch that Tori isn't immediately talking in a conversation, she would then focus on Tori alone. But I think she would try to see, because she like, this is not something that she needs to talk that the whole group needs to like hear, you know.
Okay. So a little bit more focused on Tori than specifically the group in general.
I guess she would be focused on her, and then like briefly the rest, but yeah, definitely more her.
In that case, you don't get anything from the group dynamics. And in fact, what I am going to say is, while there's a moment while everyone else is talking and you just take a second to kind of sit back and be part of the group, you sense something outside lurking. Like, the best way I can describe it is you feel like you're being watched from like 500 different angles. Like there's someone outside the building, there's someone outside this and they're lurking. There's something lurking, there's something around here that is observing and waiting.
I think if that like feeling happens, Cecilia would be waiting to like
It's
kind
quite
of
subtle, just FYI. It's not like a burp burp burp.
I think she would like, it would be the perfect moment for her to like ask Tori, like hop into a conversation. But if she like feels that, I imagine it's just like a kind of shudder, right? It's like the feeling you have like, ooh, I gotta chill. So she just like looks around,
Goosebumps, hair standing up kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, just like looks around both ways to see if like someone in the room is maybe like watching them and like waiting to have a conversation. But when she notices that isn't the case, she's just like, okay, that's weird. And then she turns to Tori and she just says like, when the others are talking a bit more, she just leans forward a bit and goes like, so like, you sure you're all right, right? Like nothing, no bad feelings, no sickness, no nothing, totally fine, right?
Tori like squints at her, like, do I not look fine? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, no, that's totally not. That's totally not what I was meaning to say. Like, you look amazing, like you do every single day. And there's like nothing off about you. It's just like, weren't you supposed to stay at the hospital like overnight?
I don't know. They let me go. I wanted to go home. They let me go home.
So you... Did they say... never mind. It's... I'm very happy that you got to go
Tori's
home.
like, I don't know these rules. Like, I don't know why this is weird that you're like so hung up on this.
Like, it's just sometimes it's not usually the case that they just let someone go when they were really keen on keeping them in, and I was kind of worried.
Well, if they were really keen on keeping me, they would have kept me there, right? But they let me go. So
yeah, you're totally right. That means that there's nothing wrong.
There's absolutely this edge of like, you are questioning what I'm telling you.
Yeah, so she's...
And I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like,
immediately says like, oh, you're totally right. Yeah. I'm very happy to see that you're all good then.
That absolutely is like, okay, great. Because I think this lunch period is very much like before you showed up and she was talking with like Laura and Nicole and them. It's very much like a reassertion of like everything is fine and I'm fine, and yes, I'm incredibly brave, you know what I mean, but like I am also so powerful, you know what I mean. Like it's that whole thing, right? Like there's the like I can't look weak in front of my squad here. Like
your acolytes.
I'm still absolutely in charge.
You saying Tori wants to re-establish herself as alpha of the group?
Correct, yes. Like, the hierarchy must be maintained, according to your powers.
Alright, then she will leave it at that, because, yeah, don't push your luck.
Okay. The conversation is partially over what happened yesterday, but most, I think most of it has subsided because Tori's not super interested in.
We already talked that out yesterday as well, right? Like that was yesterday's business.
Yeah.
Shit, Sheepy, is Christine at the table?
Not in this instance, no.
Okay.
She's a little more outside the group.
She tends to be more outside school social. She has a lot of stuff she does.
Oh, okay.
So. I don't know whether that emboldens Cecilia a little bit, not having her what may essentially be a rival.
Kind of, but I also think like she doesn't like it. She doesn't like having someone that like openly she doesn't like, and it was clear that like it was somewhat mutual and stuff. So she. Like, it just doesn't feel right to her, you know?
Are you gonna shit talk Christine? Hell yes, do it.
No. I was thinking about that, but no, she would not do that.
She probably doesn't feel stable enough with the new people to really.
Yeah, the only time she did the rumor stuff was like to actually get an in for like to talk with other people. So no, she's not gonna shit talk Christine.
Are you sure? Do you want me to help you out? I can leave you in.
No, okay. You devil woman. You don't need to.
What if Tori was like, so what do you think of Christine?
No, stop it. Tori would not do that. Tori would not be interested enough in that.
She wouldn't at all.
All right, so are you happy to
The moms are fighting.
Are you happy to leave it there for now?
Yes, that's okay. Totally fine.
In that case, what I'll say is lunch goes through. You have food, you hang out, you gossip, you chat, you get along. Only two things are highlighted here. One is that one of your teachers, Tori, it's not super important which one. It's not one of the main ones. Let's say,
check the old list of Tori's classes.
Yeah.
I also don't have it open.
Drama. She does drama, right? Tori does drama.
She does. She does do drama.
Well, let's go for well, let's just say one of your teachers comes up and is like Miss Woodlock, I'm afraid I didn't receive your paper that we assigned yesterday. I understand that you have been in hospital, but from what I've heard, you got out perfectly fine. You should have had the opportunity to do it last night. I'm afraid, in this example, Miss Whitlock, it is simply unacceptable to have not handed in your paper. So I'm now asking you where it is.
And obviously, Tori is not alone because Tori is very often not alone in these situations. If this is like, is this class? Is this class or is this like?
This is outside of class.
Outside of class. Yeah. All right. So I think
he would have approached you wanting to talk to you one-on-one, so he would have shooed away your gaggle, but they're probably nearby.
They're hovering.
Yeah.
I think there's a moment of like, do I lie? You know, like, is it worth lying about? Because she definitely hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think she just says, well, I mean, it was a little worse than, you know, everybody says, and I didn't really have the chance, so maybe I could get it to you tomorrow?
I'm not in the habit of allowing students to delay. You know, you set a precedent for one, and you have to allow all of them. I'm afraid, Miss Whitlock, if you're not able to hand it in now, I'm going to have to ask you to stay after class and finish it before you go home. As a sidebar, you need to get back reasonably early for the twins.
I think she says, I can't stay after class. You can make an exception. Just this once, right?
And Tori's eyes shimmer green, but noticeable to no one really, aside from the teacher, who obviously doesn't notice it even. And there's kind of like there's a moment where his eyes seem to be a little unfocused, and it's like he's reading something in the inside of his head, and then he says, "Of course, an exception can be made. Miss Whitlock, please do hand it in tomorrow. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much."
Oh, that's not a problem. I'm always willing to be flexible for my best students. And he kind of
I mean, your class is one of my favorites, she says flatteringly, and then just like, she doesn't even give a fuck, really.
I'm gonna say in this instance, that is highlighted as weird for you.
Yeah, that is weird.
Much more so than the doctor and etc.
Like this teacher is like renownedly an asshole and does not make exceptions, even a little bit.
No.
Tori comes away with it going like, what the fuck just happened? Like in her head, you know, like, holy shit! Like this is like, I have to test this more. You know what I mean? Like this is the like, connect the dots of like Cecilia was being weird about the hospital thing. Maybe there was something weird about that, and like people changing their minds. And then like this guy.
I would say it's not enough for you to be like supernatural.
No.
But it's definitely enough for you to be like, is there something in the water? Like, you know.
Yeah, like, am I just looking hella good today? Like, what's going on? Like.
So, proceeding from that, we will. I have a question for George.
I have a question too.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first?
You go first.
Oh, okay. Going forward, is Joel and William going to join you after school to the cafeteria?
Yeah, I'd probably force them to help me carry it home.
Carry the food home? Okay.
Yep. But before school's out, I think George would slide up to Tori and try to be like, can I talk to you?
Interesting.
I think
about the weird guy, because she's like, I think that's the only thing haunting her is the dude that was like so strangely adamant about knowing that something had happened by the lake and whatever, and he's just beyond creepy. And I think the guilt would eat her alive if she just didn't say at least a thing. She's probably pretty sure Tori won't believe her, but
yeah.
I mean, Tori looks at you the same way that someone might look at like a strange insect across their path. You know what I mean? Like, can I talk to you? I mean, yeah, I'm right here.
maybe not right here.
Okay, fine. And she turns to her group and goes like, I'll catch you in class, okay? And they all look at you as they're leaving. They all look at you like, what the fuck? Like, who is
I
this?
know.
Like the disgusted expressions, you know, of like, how dare you?
7 new rumors have been started in the
Yeah.
meantime, like just in their walk away because they're pissed.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I'd probably watch that and just be like, wow, it's like Moses
like-
parting the sea.
Yeah, Tori turns around from her locker, like closing it, you know what I mean? And like gives you her full attention. Like,
Yeah.
all right, what do you want?
You don't have any like family visiting town or anything, right?
Not that I know of. No?
Okay. This is gonna sound crazy. I promise I was sober-ish.
Yeah, okay.
For real, you could ask that little William dude. He was there too. Well,
Who?
then I know, right? Anyways, so sorry, Will. I love you. So we ran into some like hella sketchy suit last night, and he was concerned about a water incident by the lake, and I thought maybe he was investigating your accident. And I'm almost 100% sure now he is not investigating your accident.
So you just talked to some creepy guy at this. Did you mention the skate park? Sorry, my brain was like.
I think I just said on my way. Probably.
On my way?
Yeah. We
you
met up at
just
the
talk-
skate park, yeah.
So you just talked to some creepy guy at the skate park about me?
No, I didn't give up anything once I knew he was looking for someone, but he was creepy, and it's not just you. He had this hella weird, like, I know you vibe. I don't know. I would just, like, maybe don't walk a street
you think
alone
he's just
or
some
something.
like? You think he's just some perv outside the school, like just watching us all?
I mean, who else is looking for teenage girls who had accidents by a lake?
Tori does like. There is this moment here where there is like sympathy that has never existed. You know what I mean? The like, what a fucking creepy guy. You know what I mean? Like everyone can agree that that's creepy.
It's
you know?
beyond like that's like the one time we've ever seen eye to eye and will
absolutely beyond the like Tori George antimatter matter situation.
Yeah, and the fact that we're both standing near each other conversing by lockers probably has an audience of its own, like behind.
You totally know that the 3 guys over by that locker are furtively having a conversation about this conversation.
100%.
Yeah,
they're talking in the sense that they're conversing, but they're not saying anything. They've got their eyes.
It's like that restaurant talk in movies.
Well, and like as soon as we stop talking, it'll be like, I wonder what the fuck they were talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the whole hallway is tense until when you walk away, it'll kind of calm. Like everyone will go, oh.
I imagine we wouldn't even notice till we like turn away.
Yeah.
The old like, is Tori selling prescription drugs? You know what I mean? Like George
or buying them. Like yeah. I think the only other thing I wanted to tell her was like I know you've got a tight leash on your herd, but like maybe lock it up. I'm not saying they're dumb, but like if someone lets on to where you live, he doesn't seem like the nice type.
I think
which means a lot coming from George, considering where she lives and shit.
There's like a quiet moment where she's considering that, and she goes like, "Thanks for the heads up."
I'm sure it'll be fine. I just,
Oh, I'll be fine.
He gave me icky vibes, man.
Dealt with creeps like him before.
Really?
Tori's just like, yeah, sure.
That
Creepy
probably
dude.
just shocks the shit out of George.
Creepy dudes approaching young girls. Come on, it happens.
Well, her view is probably just like this rich, pampered, perfect life, where she like shines like a diamond and is untouchable and stuff. So the idea of that.
I imagine when it happens to Tori, she gives him a fucking vicious shoot down where he never wants to. He never wants to approach her again, and he's just like.
She has dealt with these kinds of things with confidence.
Yeah.
In the past.
All
right, man. As long as you sure your crowd.
Off,
yes.
Swivel,
into the street. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're cool with your people, not like I don't know. He's just watch out for him. It's whatever. And she'll like put her hood on and just like turn away and kind of shuffle back down the hall. Just like
Tori
doesn't even know if she did anything with this conversation.
When she starts to turn around, Tori goes like, "Hey," like before you leave, and says, "Sorry about your friend," or whatever.
Oh, thanks.
And then just like goes. There's like a
that
tiny
awkward
moment, tiny moment of humanity, right? Like
that is the perfect high school enemy awkward moment of like just being like a genuine moment, but just so awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. Would everyone be happy to move to end of school?
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we can talk about some quantum states or something.
No, we're going.
I
quit. We're going to after school. So
William's just rocking back and forth in front of school. Quantum things.
just a listing of quarks.
we will
down strange charm.
We will actually start with Tori as you're leaving school with your friends.
I'm scared.
Like, are you leaving school with your friends or?
How do you normally leave school?
Like, so Tori, when Tori leaves, she has her own car, right? So she's like from school to parking lot, then wherever.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like to parking lot with friends, pre-organized destination, we all go. You know what I mean? Like, but a lot of the time it's just go home because the twins are gonna need like someone to be around who isn't 10. You know. To, like, yeah. So.
Okay. In that case, I'll leave it down to you who you have with you, and let me know. As you leave the front door and walk to your car, you realize someone is sitting on it.
So I don't think she has anybody with her actually, because you said she had to get back soon after, based on that like teachers holding her back thing.
Yeah.
So I think she's already like packed up and sort of like left before the others who are still like, you know, gossiping somewhere for the packing up and leaving.
Yeah.
You know, like 10 minutes.
And this man is gloomy looking, boring suit, kind of hunched over, very demotivated looking.
Tori is the absolute opposite. She's like pastel colors, blonde, like not gloomy in the slightest. And she walks towards him a little bit and then realizes that he's like sitting on her car, you know, like knows what he's waiting for and who he's waiting for. And she's just had this warning from George. Is this like an older guy or like, you know, because there's a difference too.
Looks in his 30s or so.
Okay, yeah, that's a problem.
Older than us significantly. And didn't you say it had like sunken in features or something?
Yeah.
Like hollow eyes or something like that. I think that was what I remembered.
As you walk up towards him, like his head kind of turns and he stands up, not really straight, still a little bit kind of hunched and kind of like leant over, and reaches into his jacket and pulls out a kind of like, it looks like a flap wallet type thing, and says, Victoria Whitlock.
Tori has some confidence in this just because it's right outside school. If she screams, it's gonna be like everybody will hear it. You know what I mean? Like it's like everybody's leaving right now. People are passing by during this conversation. Like it's fine. You know what I mean? Like in terms of a place you could confront a dangerous person you've been warned about, this is a pretty good spot. So she like approaches near to her vehicle. And she has her bag and, you know, she's headed home.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, what do you want?
Bertrand Gray, FBI. And he like flips open the like wallet flap and flips it closed.
FBI?
I'd like to have
let me see that badge.
Of course.
She says totally she'll know the difference.
Yeah. And he hands over the badge, and you flip it open, and it's got in quite nice calligraphy, just written in pen.
I don't know if it matters, Sheepy, but that was an imperative. I don't know if we're just like dealing in imperatives.
No. He's perfectly happy to. Oh, I'll give you the flare dies so you know. When
I figured. I just wanted to like yeah.
And it's like quite nice calligraphy, but very clearly written in pen, and it just says Bertrand Gray, FBI.
She like looks at it, then looks at him with disgust, like. This is not an FBI badge.
No.
So you have no proof that you're in the FBI?
No, I lied.
Get off my car. Get off my car.
Could we have a civil conversation for a second?
What do you want? No lying.
Interesting. When you're reborn, what do you want to be reborn as?
What a freaky question.
I think a possum could be interesting, don't you?
I don't fucking know you.
No.
What do you want?
I was hoping to engage your services. I have some business here in town, and you're...
I don't know what you've heard, but I don't work like that.
What exactly do you mean?
The implication that, like, engage your services, like, what the fuck? Some horrible rumors, she assumes.
You misunderstand. You have a talent that could be useful to me. I would like to employ your services with that talent in helping me engage in my business. Here, and he reaches in and pulls out a card and, like, proffers it to you.
She takes the card, and there's a moment of like, what the fuck, you know, like this whole thing is like a big question mark.
The card just says Bertrand Gray, liar, con man, healer, helper, same thing. No anything else.
So why didn't you start with this? Why did you start with FBI? You hoping to take me off somewhere? Second location?
No, I thought it would be more interesting than just saying I'm a con man and I'd like to use you to con some people. You did ask for no lying, correct?
I did.
There you go then.
Why would I want to con people? Why do you think I would be helpful for this?
Your abilities allow you to some degree, control people. It's a lot easier to take money from people when you can tell them to give you money. Make my job a lot simpler here.
Sorry, the wheels are turning. A little bit. Like, this guy's weird and he's saying weird shit, but she's had 2 very strange days.
Very strange days, yeah.
Those moments are like, wait, you're saying I can control people? Like, you know, like the in her mind is like kind of the...
Can't you smell the sea?
Well, yeah.
We're not near the sea. Why do you think we can smell the sea?
We?
Apologies. The scent is quite permeable around you. It's how I knew it was you when you came towards the car.
What the fuck?
I'm not really sure how to answer that question, but I could attempt it if you like.
Listen, I don't want to con anyone. I'm not a criminal. You know, like, I don't need to help you. What's in it for me to help you do anything?
Well, I wouldn't come and ask you again for a start. Pretty good deal.
Why don't I just tell the staff here to be on the lookout for some creepy fuck sitting on my car and have you arrested?
You could do that.
Or, if what you just told me is correct, I can just say, never talk to me again.
I will never talk to you again, as your eyes, like, glow green.
Now get out of my way.
And he turns and walks off down, away from the school, and then down the road.
Tori is like, what the fuck? That worked? Like, that should not have worked.
Did her eyes shimmer?
Yeah.
They did. Okay. Can she feel it? Does she know something's happening?
I would say now that you know there's something.
That was like actually trying to assert power, right?
Okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
So I would say yes. You felt a, almost like when you have a burst of adrenaline, you feel like this flush of like kind of, quite, like almost like fresh feeling like surge through you. Kind of like when you jump in the ocean or jump in the water, you know, that kind of like that feeling.
She sort of like leans against her car, a little bit disconcerted. Like that was a very intense conversation to have with some random,
and
a very intense revelation to have.
Yes.
Post that conversation.
You get a little bit of time to like cogs whirring in your head, but actually Laura comes running up quite quickly and says, Tori, you okay? I heard there was some weird guy talking to you.
Yeah, it's fine. He was just some creep, you know. I don't know. George warned me about him. She says, like, in the weirdest fucking tone of voice.
George Cade, the weird girl with the always hangs under the bleachers?
Yeah, apparently some guy was asking about me at the skate park. I don't know why me.
Well, and she told him who you were? What a bitch.
I mean, she warned me. Tori says, like,
yeah,
maybe she's not a total bitch, right?
She's like, yeah, I mean, she warned you after she sold you out. That's, you know. I would have thought someone like her would never grass someone. Sorry,
no,
snitch.
Might have been
snitch, not grass.
Might have been a mistake. I don't know. I'm not gonna... She helped me out, okay? I knew what to expect.
Yeah. Are you gonna be alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
He's never gonna bother me again.
I mean, you know, I've seen you deal with that before, but, yeah. Okay, well,
You've just gotta cut him down.
yeah.
Take away any chance.
Yeah.
And also, like, what's he fucking gonna do on the school grounds?
Right.
She doesn't usually, like, swear a whole bunch. Just, like, she's just, like, under a lot of stress right now, I feel like.
And Laura will say, I don't know, do you want to hang out for a bit before you go home, or do you need to get home?
Actually, yeah. No, we should. I gotta try something.
Okay.
Let's go to... Nobody's gonna be in the pool. Let's go to, like, you know, like, the pool area.
Yeah, okay. So you head off towards the pool. Yeah. School's starting to close down, you know, like, the kids are leaving, etc. But you got a fair little bit of time before. And you head to the pool area. It's you know, easy for you to get through. Like, no one's guarding the pool.
I mean, like the coach will have a key or something.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, it's just that whole, like, hey, we want to get in here.
And when you get there, Laura's already taken off, like, her shoes and socks and stuff, and she, like, rolls up her jeans or whatever she's wearing and like sits on the side of the pool. Says, all right, what do you want to do?
Sheepy, can we cut this scene into 2 scenes? Like, go to someone else and I'll come back? Because I want to think about what I'm going to do here. I have, like, some plans, but I want to just, like, mull it a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's like, what is someone else doing? And then we'll go back.
So, Cecilia. Heading home?
Finally some peace and quiet and just a normal ride home, yes.
Alright, you're driving home, or are you, walking?
Driving, because we're in America.
Yeah. So
This is America.
as you walk out of the front doors of the school, you feel tense. You feel.
Tell me something new.
Well, yeah, it's been like this a little bit, but this is a bit more concentrated. You can actually feel. It's like right near you, that feeling of being tense, that feeling of being kind of like on guard, you know. And as you're walking down the steps and you're walking kind of like along the bushes and off towards the car park, suddenly you get hit with bam, fight or flight. That like adrenaline just booms through your body, and you feel like you have to run away. You feel like you have to attack something. Like suddenly it just hits you as this rabbit jumps out of the bushes and tears it away, just like, and tears it off down the road. Like flies past a couple of cars, maybe swerve a little bit to miss it, and it disappears off into the park, and that feeling goes with it and slowly like ebbs out of you and disappears.
So I walk out, I walk to my car. A rabbit springs out of the bushes, and I suddenly feel like everything's like on edge. I'm like,
the second the rabbit jumps out is the same time you hit that like adrenaline burst.
I think because it all happens so fast, when like the rabbit is like darting away and like the feeling disappears with it, I feel like she would have to take a moment to like regain composure and like her breath and be like, dude, the fuck just happened?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a yip maybe where you're like, ah.
Yep.
But I will say as well, for Cecilia's like mental state and that, it was so close to that she could very well believe that it was the adrenaline from being startled by the rabbit jumping out.
Yeah, sure. She's like, oh, what is it with animals these days just popping out of bushes?
Oh yeah.
Totally normal thing to happen. All right.
I will say that sensation of something like lurking, something that kind of maybe keeping an eye out or has disappeared.
Oh, it has disappeared? All right.
It disappeared like 10 minutes ago or so, maybe.
Oh, right. Okay. That helps. I see Katie laughing. I know what you're laughing about.
Yeah.
I know. Who could
I love
it be?
it.
I wonder.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I just work for
absolutely
the FBI.
no idea. Having had that little jumpy moment, she will after a second continue on to her car to go on her merry way home while it is still light outside, because that's how we like it.
Hell yeah. You head home. Car drive is fine. You pull in, get home. It seems like names. When Sheepy makes too many NPCs. Tina has already left. Her car's not there. And yeah, you it's quite calm out here, but there's the best way I can describe it, and this will again, you may chalk this off to just like a weird feeling today, like you're feeling off today or anything. You feel like there's best way I can describe it is there's something on the prowl.
Okay, I really feel like the past 2 days have been just like almost continuous feeling of like tension at some points.
Yeah.
So my question is, Sheepy, lovely storyteller, do you have anything planned for when Cecilia could have judo practice? Or
Yeah. could definitely have judo practice in the next couple of days, like an early
Because
morning thing or after school thing.
Yeah, because I feel like she would definitely be looking forward to such a moment to maybe finally be able to let loose of some of that tension, because like it just doesn't feel right, and it feels to her like she could release it there better than she could. Like, of course she would vigorously go and work on the farm.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think she would also try to work it out that way for now and just go to work out as much tension as she can by just taking care of the animals and doing some work there.
Katie.
I have a question for Cecilia. So you have these instincts to like chase a rabbit, which would like
I wouldn't say chase a rabbit.
It's
It was
not that. It was just like
It was a fight or flight kind of a jump.
Okay.
yeah,
scare
it was
feeling.
I'm startled. I should fight or flight.
So how many days of that before you would not wait for judo and you would just like either crumble or give into it?
We're a very composured individual.
But a human body can only take so much cortisol before you fucking melt down.
Yeah, true. That's what she's trying to do right now. It's just like at the farm doing like some heavy lifting and like
Kind of
all
like
of
go
that.
back to as normal as possible to kind of override it.
Yeah.
And I'll say that you help out with your dad. You check the chickens again. Everything's fine. You check the fence.
Count those
that's
chickens.
Okay.
Counting them.
You go to see the horses. They're kind of stressed out.
Oh.
You know, they're just feeling a little bit kind of you know, like antsy.
She looks at them and she notices that and she's like, "Oh, poor baby, I'm feeling the exact same way." And she tries to comfort them. She's like, "There, nothing will happen to you."
Yeah, and as you go over to them, you calm them. You can feel that they calm down. They relax a little bit, and you're feeling better. I will say, physically, you've kind of worked out some of the tension in your body. Mentally, you're still kind of feeling a bit stressed and a bit put upon.
Gotcha. I think it also doesn't really help that during the entire rest of the evening, she is just like mostly alone in her head, like because there's not a lot of conversation going on. So I think that doesn't help because like physically, as you said, like she's feeling a bit better, but then mentally, she just has like this tension and this like feeling like there's still something out there, and like her head starts going on all of these theories where the past few days so much like strange stuff has happened with like the disappearances, people falling unconscious, and then like having the feeling of like there's something out there lurking, like watching. She's just like she's like connecting or like trying to connect things or like just putting those two together, and she's like, I really don't like this feeling, but I also don't know who to talk to about it.
Yeah.
Because just like the first thing you would do is like talk to your friends or like your parents about this, and like she can't or like doesn't want to do that. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, sorry. Is she going to work it out, or is she going to she's worked out the physical stress, right?
Yeah.
You gonna do anything about the mental, or is it
Try to regain composure.
Okay. In that case, I will say you describe for me a little bit, like, is it where you did the workout thing before?
Okay, so because physically she doesn't feel like yeah, LCT, are you okay, honey?
Oh, LZT?
Oh no.
Is he asleep?
I think
Well, that boy's fallen asleep in the middle of lovemaking before. It wouldn't shock me. Not with me. It's just a fun story I like to repeat.
Oh, poor baby.
Let's just we just keep going. And
Yeah, we just keep going.
So
All right.
meanwhile, in the background,
Yeah.
George and Joel are like putting makeup on William because he's so tired. He's passed out against the school.
Give me a second.
Eyeliner.
Oh.
Our
Yeah,
poor
just
boy.
save when you're good to continue, Sheepy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling so sad for him. It must be really rough with that.
I broke my arm and I feel bad for him. So,
Yeah.
You know, discourse.
We
Don't wanna
must-
make a loud noise and scare him.
Yeah.
But we must be really comforting to listen to.
Yeah.
though.
Aww.
Alright.
Our dulcet tones.
All good.
Yeah. All
We're
right.
good. Oh, poor. We
Sorry,
love
I
you,
just I
LBT.
noticed that and I wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but I
I
hadn't
just looked
noticed.
over.
I didn't see that to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, so feeling as like she has already figured out or like worked out some of the physical stuff, I would imagine that sometime after dinner, after she had like put away all of the plates and cleaned up there, instead of immediately going up to her room to do stuff for school, or such alike things, she would just take she would like take one of her books she's reading right now, probably a romance novel right now. So she would take that.
Wait, do we share a taste in trashy romance novels as well?
Probably because
I
like
imagine so, yeah.
yeah, probably. So she would take one of those novels, take like a glass of water, and go outside and just to sit like out on the terrace or like the grass a little bit further, and very calmingly, very soothingly watch probably the sunset or something, and like read a bit, but then just like at a certain point put down the book and just like stare out and take some deep breaths and do like a bit of that to try to settle herself.
Yeah. Okay. My question would be, do you at any point like relax and close your eyes and etc.?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think that's the whole point of all of this, is like the moment where you try to start reading your book, but then you're like, there's too much going on in my head right now to actually focus on what I'm reading.
Yeah. Okay, in that case,
It's like you end up reading the same line over
Yeah.
and over
Yeah.
and over.
And then you
over.
realize like this isn't working.
this isn't happening. Been there.
Yeah. Like with a huff, you lay down the book. You're like, all right.
in that case, and I'll say, as you as you're kind of like, your eyes are closed and you're just kind of like centering yourself a little bit, you hear this kind of like flapping, flap, 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 and like a little bird song, you know, just like a tweet, 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 just kind of off to your side, and your senses, because you have your eyes closed, and your senses focus on it, and you kind of like, the call of the bird is quite soothing and quite relaxing, and you feel your mind drifting, and you feel yourself kind of like almost like you're leaning a bit towards the bird, and then your eyes blink even though your eyes were closed, and you're looking at yourself sitting there. And as you are sitting there, you feel yourself move up as you hear in the distance like a flap, 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 and you rise into the sky, and you can see yourself on the ground. The vision is kind of like moving around the ground as you float up into the air. And can I take it that would be kind of freaky?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Your mind kind of rejects this like flying, this sensation of like looking down from above and the weirdness, and you feel yourself like and you feel yourself back with your eyes closed. You can feel the control back over you, and your eyes flutter open. The bird has flown off. The song has stopped.
I think
I can give you this much. You realize that you just were looking through the eyes of that bird.
I think being a very rational person here. I think Cece immediately opens her eyes, and just like leans forward, like rubs like her hands over her face, and just goes like, "Okay, today has been way too much. I think surely it's a very good idea to get in. Maybe I just didn't sleep enough. Must be yeah, or maybe one too many classes with Ashford. Yeah. And
that's fair. Yeah.
And she rubs her face a few more times, and then like takes her time to stand up, take her stuff, like look up for a moment, and then just let it go like, yeah, fuck. Your crazy imagination, Cece.
For Syrinx, as Cecilia heads in and does those things, one of the power tags you can now take on your thing, animal empath.
Empath?
Yeah. If it hasn't already become extremely clear, you can feel the feelings of animals.
I'm an empath.
And one of your abilities is hitchhike.
Yes. Hitchhike?
Hitchhike.
Okay. Kudos to you for a nice naming there.
Also known as share senses, but I like hitchhike better.
Yeah, I get why you like it better. That's cool.
Okay.
But for now, Cecilia doesn't accept that.
Cecilia hasn't gotten there yet.
So I think she just gets in bed early and hopes that maybe it's sleep deprivation.
Yes.
It could be. It could always be.
Despite the girl who probably makes sure that she meticulously keeps every hour that she goes to bed and wakes up.
She like lies in bed and opens her like quite raggedy book.
Yeah.
She's like, Esteban will comfort me.
I'm gonna read Dark Dominion. You know, like,
yeah.
Star Wars fanfic.
Oh god. So
I mean, I guess Star Wars fanfic could exist.
What I will say is, William, you take a moment, and this is before while George is waiting around for people to leave so that she can go and basically get some
lunch lady thing, yeah.
Lunch lady, the food from the lunch lady.
She's got takeaway waiting.
you feel the cool of nature, and you kind of trot and go into the bathroom, go to the bathroom. You know, we don't need to do a scene for that. However, as you are washing up with your hands, the lights flicker, which is weird, and then the lights go out.
Okay.
And as you look up and you stare into the mirror, with like a little bit of light coming from outside, like through the crack in the door and etc. You see this vibrant, glowing kind of like yellow eye, and this kind of like around your eye, there's little almost like molten lines, you know, like cracks or like lizards in between the lizard scales kind of vibe.
I need moisturizer.
And behind you, the shadows are moving, and you know, there's like an extra darkness that you can see, like pulsing and moving around.
Instantly turn around and make sure there isn't an actual like.
Yeah, and as you turn around, the lights come back on, and everything's completely normal. And
I turn back to look at the mirror again.
echoing in your head as you kind of looking around like, what the hell was that? You just hear.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's fine. You already peed, so you don't wet yourself. It's fine.
Well, thanks for that much. That's very kind of you, Sheepy.
Yeah. I'm here for you. Man.
Yeah. But my eye is back to normal.
Yeah. I would say that's down to your own decision. That's enough for you to be like, okay, something a little weird is happening at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows that now.
Hearing sinister laughter is generally either something is up or
it echoed in your head. Like,
or you're asleep, you know?
You can...
Shit, the bullies followed me again.
Exactly.
I assume he would probably be like, anyway, outside. Like,
William would probably, like, empiricist, so he would probably, like, check. Is there stalls in here?
Yeah. Check
Yeah,
the stalls
he'd make sure that they're empty.
Oh, yeah,
and not
they are.
like, oh, okay. So it's like, hi, I found a tape recorder. Oh my God, it's the new Sony Walkman.
No, there's nothing in there. It's
Okay.
all clear. And as you walk back outside, probably a bit like shaken and a little bit kind of like George, you'll probably see that William is a little bit discombobulated and stuff as well. But it's time to get food.
So we're probably like, I assume, because we usually walk to the skate park, we probably are just like chilling against the side of the school, smoking, like hanging, waiting for that back door to open, the delivery door, wherever, most school kitchens have like some back entrance.
The loading bay. Yeah.
The loading bay. Yes, we are in the loading bay. Chilling and, probably noticed that Will just like snapped out of something when usually he's like deep in a book. He's usually got 3 notebooks open or something like that. And he has nothing. He's just like, dumb stare. I'd probably like elbow, like rib him a little and be like, yo, you good? Bud? Buddy?
Will is completely like, huh?
Dude, you seem like super out of it.
Bro, you just checked out. You okay?
Did you go through my backpack? Because I have stuff in there you should not eat.
Yeah, you shouldn't get anything out of that guy's bag without at least a mask on.
No, like...
Does this eye look weird? Do I have something in my eye?
Your eye?
There's his eyeball.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does it look...
Happy to help.
I'll probably like get up real close to it. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Is there anything like pupils? Everything's totally normal, right? I don't see anything.
All normal.
All normal, yeah. I don't. That's. You look fine, other than you were not. Your brain was vacant just now.
You were.
Is this normal?
Like completely in the clouds, man.
You and Joel looked similar for a second. It was weird.
Wow, that bad, huh?
Hey.
You okay?
I'm
You
fine.
gotta, like, go inside?
No, I'm just a bit tired, hungry as well.
Joel, you're always hungry. That's.
Yeah.
I know. I should be fine.
All right.
And he kind of looks around and is there a reflective surface nearby, like a pool of water or?
Yeah, car windows and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably school windows, I would
Yeah.
imagine. Too.
Yeah.
Car windows.
Yeah.
Will go up to like a random window and just see. It's only it's not perfectly reflective. So it's kind of like trying to get a good angle.
Yeah, and it kind of.
Joel and George are just like, what?
Sometimes you have to check yourself out. You need to know that you look fucking fly.
I don't think that's what he's doing, buddy.
And William, as you're like looking and like you look back at them for a second, and they're like looking at you weird, and then you look back. When you look back, your reflection goes.
Oh, fuck you!
And then your right eye.
Okay. We'll definitely goes away from the window. Like,
We don't see this, right?
No.
We don't see any of that. It's just his normal. He's to
yeah,
us.
no.
He's like,
Will departs from the window vicinity.
Multiple people today questioning whether or not they did drugs without them noticing they did. Being like, today has been rough.
Everyone's been eating from Joel's backpack. That's what I'm gonna know.
Someone put
That's all I'm
LSD in the
this.
water supply.
the popcorn ceilings just raining on our
Yeah.
head. What is that? I just blanked on what that thing is. That's like in old ceilings that they're trying to get rid of. That's really bad for people. Asbestos. We're just bathing in the asbestos.
As William, as you kind of like step back from it and you're kind of like getting your thoughts together, you're trying to figure out like the logical is like crashing with what you just saw again. The door opens and Jasmine says, quick, come on.
We crush out our cigarettes real quick, and I like grab William, who's probably still like kind of backing away from the mirror like it's a cougar or something, and like drag him in.
Yeah.
Buddy, come on. And then we go inside with her and look for whatever. I mean, is there like a box or something? Just grab.
So Jasmine says, okay, this way. I've put it to the side, so it's at the back of the kitchen. And she kind of like leads you through the kitchen. Most of the
Is she being way more clandestine about this than she has to? She seems like she's really enjoying this.
It seems, yeah.
kind of in, yeah. It seems like she's kind of like, this is, you know, the James Bond stuff going.
I'm breaking the
Yeah.
law. I'm breaking the law.
Yeah, you get
Breaking the
that.
law. Yeah. But we're teens, so I'm probably going around along right with it. I'm like, oh, we're all gonna get, the principal's gonna get us.
Yeah.
Because they're the police when you're a kid, man. Okay, so I'd probably just follow her and
Okay.
assume they follow me
Um,
because I brought them for their most schools.
yeah, and she's now not in her lunch lady outfit. She's actually looking a lot nicer than she does when she's, you know, serving. She's got kind of like a little, not crop top, but you know, it kind of like stops around the ribs, and then she's got like the skinny jeans and everything. And
Oh, she looking snazzy.
William, you notice that she has a like maybe she got in an accident or something, because from the back, like going around her waist, from the back, like from the spine all the way around, she's got this kind of like little red line going around her waist.
Oh.
But you know, it's kind of
I think
I'm
with
probably
everything,
used to
I
seeing
think
people
with
with injuries
everything
and
that's
shit.
happened, William's not gonna ignore that.
well, you do start to kind of like be that, and you're like, okay, that's weird, but you know, your vision's a little bit blurry, and you're feeling a little bit kind of.
Does she walk wonky or anything? Like she's got an
No,
issue with her
no,
back
no.
or anything? Okay.
Nothing like that. And she walks over to the food, and you hear two thumps behind you. Just kind of like a vroom, vroom.
Probably swing around, look behind us at the big stainless steel industrial grade kitchen. Is there anything there?
Yeah, both William and Joel have passed out and crumpled on the floor.
Also,
we
this
spooning?
this is the 90s. That kitchen is definitely like white refrigerator color.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's like what dingy, stained, white,
Yeah.
greasy, stained. Okay, I'd probably like do that, like spin, look straight ahead of me, and notice that I'm not seeing them in my eye line. Look down.
And you hear Jasmine saying, "I'm sorry, George." As you turn back around, you hear this kind of like, as you see Jasmine's like body has started to kind of crinkle and turn leathery. The bit where William saw the red line has started to detach, where her upper body has started to detach away from her lower body, and it's kind of ripping away. These wings start to unfurl from her back, kind of bat-like and leathery. And as you're like, the fuck? Her mouth opens and this like whip-like tongue just flies out and wraps around your neck. She says, "I'm sorry, George, but for some reason, you seem really tasty now, and I didn't get to finish my last meal."
Okay.
And you start to feel you feel like a very slight kind of numb pressure on your neck, and you start to feel like your life energy, like your essence is being drained, and it's difficult to move, and there's this kind of little fog now in your head, which is just a little bit kind of slowing your movements and reducing your thought processes. So, you know, it's hard for you to think and it's hard for you to focus on thoughts. As you feel like a little bit of tightening of the skin, like you look at your hand and it's got just a little bit wrinkly. Until you hear a voice.
Oh my god, is it gonna be Mr. Knight? It's gonna be Mr. Knight. He's gonna be like, "I'm here to rescue you."
And
sorry,
you hear "One for my mother," and there's like a hiss from Jasmine as her visage now is fully demonic, and like you can see that she's monstrous, and like her hands are like bloody red and dripping with like strange kind of browny red ichor. And she hisses, and you hear 2 for my father. And footsteps start to come closer towards you. You can't see because you're facing in the other direction. 3 for my brother, and 4 for my sister. Freezing flame, unholy source, come from the depths and bend to my will. Scour the soul of mine enemy and burn away their being. And this, like, you hear this kind of like, and this blue flame like shoots past your head and hits Jasmine in the face, and like the tongue immediately like disconnects and burns away, and she's like screaming. She's like, "Ah!" As she like her wings flap, and she like hits against the side, hits against the other side. The torso, like the legs, the lower torso, start to like move around and oh, no. Kind of move differently, and like kind of move around beside the table, and you're like released, and your head starts to clear, and you're like slowly, a little bit slowly, like life starts to come back into your arms. The wrinkles start to go. You start feeling like you're like vital again. It felt like your time was being taken from you.
Yeah. As soon as I have any wits about me, just instinctually, I'd probably grab my backpack off my back and just start pummeling the legs. Bottom
the
half
legs have kind of
around
on the other side. And you hear scour the soul of mine enemy and burn away their being. And then you feel a burning as your back is hit with blue flame. The energy is taken away from you. The ability to move. You feel this kind of like draining, not the same way, like the draining of your what's the best way to say it, like your being, your soul. Almost. It feels like it doesn't feel like it's burning your skin. It feels like it's burning something deep in you, something that you haven't noticed till this second is a part of you. And then you hear clop, clop, clop of footsteps, and as you kind of like face down, you can kind of see up above you, you see the sad visage of Mr. Knight, and he says, kind of brings his hand up to a rosary that you haven't noticed before. He's never worn it before, and he clutches it and he says, "Oh abyss, the void of imagination, Come forth and claim your spawn. Demon begone and hate us no more. Terror subside and predator be banished. To the deepest darkness, where ye shall never be sated again. And as he finishes that, he rips off his rosary and slams it on the ground near your head, and a dark, tarry smoke starts to spread around the ground, and you feel it like shift under your face and into your body, and you can feel it like grip you and start to slowly pull you down. And
I am completely helpless.
Yes.
I'm just laying there and I feel like I'm sinking through the ground. I'm done for.
It starts to spread out as well, and grabs Jasmine, and grabs both of your friends as well, and all four of you are very, very slowly sinking, like you're being drawn into quicksand. And Mr. Knight goes, "Such a shame." And then clop, 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 as his footsteps recede.
Not cool, man.
Not cool, man.
Yeah, so those new characters you guys made?
You feel, you sense yourself slowly being drawn down, slowly being drawn in to the darkness when you hear another set of footsteps slowly approaching the kitchen.
Oh, shut up.
No, Ashford is not the good guy here.
Zero comfort enters my soul.
It cannot
Almost
be.
my whole body's sunken into the ground. It's just like half my skull with just my head. And I just gurgle, fuck.
Hey there, kids. You seem to be having a good day. Have you found your path in life? And he walks over, taking care to avoid the blackness and the sucking, and he walks over to
The sucking.
the
Vortexy thing.
the big suck, and he walks over towards Jasmine, who has at this point, by the way, like transformed slightly, but she's still he has to kind of like take the long way around, like, you know, get over to her, because it's all like stretched out in the middle, so he has to go the long way, like that. And he says, you know, it'd be a problem if you were banished here. And then he reaches down for her hand, which is kind of like flailing, and her hand reaches for his and grasps him, and he grasps her hand, and he lifts her up and flings her across the room, and she like slams into the wall, just like leaving a massive dent. The wall is just like, and she's like, ah! She starts to transform again. She like her wings start to come back out. Her hands start to turn back into these like claws and things, and she's like, "You'll regret." And he points at her and goes, "Bind wings." And her wings just like crunch into her, and she like hits a table and crawls off. And she's like, "Ah! Witch, how dare you!" And he points at her again and says, "Bind throat." And her like complaints go, "Ah!" And then you hear a clop clop, and you see him walking towards you, and he looks down and he says, "Well, angry girl, it appears that you're in a bit of a bind."
Literally. I probably am just panicked. There's probably like a tear runs down an eye that's visible above whatever the smoke is and stuff. Just like panic, like I don't know what to do. You scare me, this scares me.
And he folds his arms and he says, "You know, I can't save you, but I think you can assist me, and maybe you might be able to learn to save yourself. Blink if you're willing."
Oh fuck yeah! Fuck.
Just like Spasm blinks.
And as he reaches down and pulls you out, you see Jasmine like on her arms, because she has no lower body. She's like scuttling towards what you see is her like kind of legs, which are going like da, 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 and she's trying to like get back to her legs and etc. Like your mouth is free now. You're free of the smoke as you're pulled out, and he sets you back on your feet.
Okay, so I've just been like choked out by the creepy tongue thing and then sunk into the thing, so I'm probably like oh thing the bitch thing pointing at her, scrambling towards her legs.
I wouldn't worry about that thing. It's a little vermin, nothing less. Let me get your friends out. And he reaches down and grabs Joel and like pulls him out and sets him on the table, and then reaches down, grabs William, pulls him out by his shoulder and says, "This one's gonna be part of the deal too, you realize?" And puts William down next to you as...
Is William conscious?
He is not.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. As Jasmine like finally manages to leverage herself up, and she's like holding over her body, just about to set down, he says, "A balance must be maintained." And she sets back down, and the stomach meets the hips, essentially, is the waist. And she starts to seal back up and etc. He says, "However, you killed someone on school property, and I will not allow that." And she starts to scream, and she starts to sizzle, and her skin starts to go all wrinkly and leathery, and then slowly it starts to grey, and it starts to kind of like move along her arms and up her face and up her neck. And she slowly turns into ash, and then crumples into just a pile of ash. So, I think it's probably about time we leave Cafeteria. Don't forget your food.
What about...
Oh, yeah. And he reaches over and he like taps Joel's face. Joel's like, oh, and he reaches over and he like waves something under William's nose, and William, you come back to consciousness.
With a scream.
Yeah.
Ah!
Easy, little man. You don't want to go setting off that thing willy-nilly.
Does it go off when William wakes up?
No.
Okay. Fuck.
And he puts his hand on Joel's shoulder and says, "I need a minute with these two. Could you wait outside, please?" And Joel like looks at you and he's like, "What? Yeah, alright, okay." And he kind of like stumbles, and he's still kind of clearly under the influence of something. William, your head is kind of pounding a little bit, and you feel quite groggy and a little bit, So I feel like maybe we need to talk.
What
Yes?
the fuck?
We'll talk prices soon. I mean, I saved both of your lives. You owe me.
So, just to make sure, William passed out before anything supernatural happened, and woke up after all of the supernatural stuff happened.
Yeah.
So kitchen chaos, pile of ashes, me probably like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, but he didn't see anything supernatural.
He didn't see anything supernatural in this
Cool.
instance,
Just
no.
making sure.
I'm thinking 1.2 for you, angry girl, and maybe 2.5 for little man. Yeah,
I don't.
that seems about fair for lives.
2.5 what?
Million.
I don't. What?
What?
I don't. Can I just die instead?
Sure. And he points at you and says, bind throat. And your throat just goes and closes up, and you feel like you can't breathe.
I probably just like grab it and then start smacking William's chest because I can't speak. Like,
No, please don't do that.
unbind, and the throat is released, and you can breathe again.
okay. Okay. Okay.
1.2.
Yep. Whatever.
Okay, you can both work it off for me.
Why do I have to pay more?
Because you're worth more, little man. No offense, Angry Go.
None taken. What was that?
Which
Is
bit?
Miss Peaches not?
Oh, her? She was a Manangangal.
I
Also,
think that's racist.
No, it's
also, him doing the bind on George is the first supernatural thing I
That
see,
is
apart
the
from my
first-
reflections.
The first supernatural thing you say, yes.
Does William just freak out and run or pass out? Or is it,
Down to you.
does he swoon?
If you tried to move, I'd grab you so fast. I'm not alone. I'm not staying here alone with this teach. No.
Yeah, no, I
shitting way.
think William starts to edge towards the door.
Bind feet. And you fall over. Now.
What are you?
I'm a history.
Who are you?
I'm a history teacher.
Is that normal?
Normal for what?
A history teacher. A history teacher.
In general, I would say no.
Okay, what makes you able to do that? William, stop it.
William's crawling towards the door
Army-
now with the
army
bound
crawl.
legs.
Point, bind, arms. And your arm seize up.
Wiggle. I can do the worm.
He's not
Sorry,
going
just,
anywhere.
He's
It's
just
fine.
he's not moving an inch. Well, he's moving an inch forward and then back again, but he's wriggling, trying to wriggle towards the door.
Listen, Angry Go, what's your name?
George.
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 Could you please go and get your friend and bring him here so we can talk?
Gladly.
Thank you.
And I walk over and just grab William's feet and do the one arm just drag across the floor back to where we were speaking.
No.
And
Okay, so you're a
he-
history teacher.
He reaches down. He reaches down, grabs William, and sets him back upright.
Just the perfect posture.
Now, I'm happy to unbind you if you agree to not cause any more issues until we've talked.
Yeah. Sure, that sounds.
William,
Huh?
please just sit there.
Okay.
Unbind. And your arms relax, your ankles unfuse.
Okay, I think at that point, I think it's too much for William.
Yeah.
And he might just go, "Ugh."
Faint.
Yeah.
You'll have to fill him in a little bit.
How is that worth $2.5 million?
Because I can get more from him than I can get from you. Your life is literally worth less.
What do you want?
Assistance.
So you just happen to walk in
Teacher's
on
aide.
the yeah. You just happen to walk in on the cafeteria lady.
I've been keeping my eyes on her for a little while. I thought she was likely a Manangangal and was the one responsible for the missing student.
Wait, you said that she killed somebody?
What was his name? I can't remember now.
Casey.
That's the one.
And at that, she'll probably crumple. Just like, that like crumple, sit on the ground, kind of just like
hand in heads.
Yeah, kind of. Oh fuck! This is real. This is more real than she ever thought it could have been. Oh, she ate him.
She drained the majority of his life.
Oh, sick. What now?
What do you mean?
You saved my life for a reason.
Yep, I need help.
What now?
Well, now you go home. You have a rest. And tomorrow we'll start fresh. And I'll assign a few jobs to you. You can start working off the money you owe me.
What if I go home and something tries to eat me?
Eat it back. That's part of who you are now.
I'm sorry, what? Eat it. Okay.
He looks around for a second and spots like a bottle of bleach, and he walks over to it, grabs it, uncaps it, grabs your mouth, and just pours it into your mouth.
You'll probably hear just that like break up, like ah!
Yeah.
Waterboarding sounds as I was like screaming through it.
And
And breathe.
You feel yourself, you feel the bleach going down your throat, and then, unlike usual, you feel yourself kind of, it's hard to describe. It goes into your stomach, and when it hits your stomach, it just gets absorbed and broken down, and it just disappears. You don't feel any fuller. You don't feel any adverse side effects.
No burning, no nothing.
No burning, no nothing.
She'd probably like recover from just the forceful beverage feeding and like wipe her mouth off and be like, nice trick. Cute.
Why do you think both of your friends fell to the gas that she was emitting and you didn't?
I didn't know she was. Are you saying the lunch lady farted them into a coma? What gas?
The Manangangal can paralyze and send its prey to sleep. It's easier to feed. I imagine that's what happened to your friend Casey. However, now that you have inherited what you've inherited.
At that, she's gonna rip the bleach bottle out of his hand, smell it, and realize it was bleach.
It's full on bleach.
Like it's like the astringent, like,
And, like,
wafting.
Not only can you smell the bleach, you realize that you can smell the separate chemicals that make up the bleach.
Ooh. What is this? What is this? This is a nightmare. I'm dreaming. I'm not dreaming.
Tell me, did you recently consume an inordinate amount of food?
It's a really forward question, but yes. Am I poisoned?
No, and in fact, you cannot really be poisoned ever again. Congratulations.
I'm sorry. I ate a meal. Is it a tapeworm?
No.
Am I going to die?
Yeah. Eventually. Everyone does.
But I can drink bleach?
That was the worst response ever. Just like, yeah, you will. Yeah.
You can drink pure cyanide straight from the tap, and you will be fine.
Why?
You can walk into mustard gas and be perfectly fine.
Why?
You could
Why?
drink an entire swimming pool and you would be fine.
Why? Why?
You speak to anyone? Anyone give you that meal?
And she'll like do that dramatic look away. Chef Jeff.
Chef Jeff.
I met a nice diner, Chef.
Congratulations. You inherited the glutton.
Is that like one of those weird viruses you get from mosquitoes?
It's like that, except for a bit less blood drinky. And
I don't have health insurance.
He's pointing at the ash over there.
And she'll kind of glance over. Oh, I'm not gonna be that, right?
No.
I'm not gonna turn into that, right?
No.
Okay. She'll like feel her neck for bite marks or something.
Although, how do you do with tentacles?
I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
Noticeably, like color comes back in her face. Like, oh my god,
Fuck Ashford, man. What a dick.
I'm not going to grow tentacles, right?
Maybe.
I don't know how to.
I don't know. I doubt it.
So what's up with him? Can he drink bleach? And she's gonna like move towards him with the bleach bottle.
No, I wouldn't give him that. I'm not entirely sure what's up with him yet. Although I have my suspicions. I'd have to talk to him.
I'd love if the devil's eye manifested itself while I was unconscious, just a flash. Like there's no personality in the way for the devil to come out and just come out and go, hello, and then disappear again.
That makes sense.
Like maybe as like a threat because I came at him with the bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you like go towards him as the bleach, a shimmer and this kind of red, scaly, like molten comes up around his eye and all around there, and there's kind of like a little, because it's quite dark currently, like a little glow coming from his lid, like where the both eyelids meet.
And she'll just like back away real quick. Nope. Not
quite what I had expected, but
What?
close.
What is happening?
Your little friend's eye has been possessed. Different from what happened to you. A bit more forceful, a bit more insidious.
How did he get infected with an eye?
I would imagine that he found the book.
You know, I was just gonna say he does nothing but read books to put himself into danger, so that one makes sense. I'm using that next time they assign a book report.
Alright. Well,
I don't know what to do right now.
my advice would be to go home, relax, don't tell anyone what you saw because they'll put you in a mental asylum, and report to me tomorrow so we can start dealing with some of this shit that's around here.
Okay.
I have to see about recruiting a couple more assistants, but aside from that...
I'm not gonna involuntarily eat anyone, right?
How you feeling?
Scared?
Hungry?
A little.
You won't...
And this is weird for her. She'll like
Yeah.
be like, what?
You won't involuntarily eat a person, but if you want to, it's a possibility.
Why doesn't that freak me out?
Because you're hungry?
And at that, she's gonna kind of like you know that like post-trauma comatose movement. Like she's just gonna stand up and move towards the giant fridge in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and start looking for shit, and completely forget that Will is, you know, a puddle on the ground.
You want me to wake your friend up, or should I just leave him there for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Which one?
I'm sorry.
You want me to leave your friend, or wake him up for you?
Oh, if you could wake him up, I'm gonna need help carrying this.
Alright. And he grabs William by like the shirt, pulls him up, and
I'm just taking everything from the shelves, and I'm gonna write a note that says like, it's from Miss Peaches, like,
yeah.
F you guys, F the
I owe
system.
you.
I'm taking everything.
Does William wake up when he's slapped?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
As you kind of come to and you like refocus and you see your reflection in the shades, Mr. Ashford says, "Your friend will fill you in on what's going on. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Oh, and I feel like I don't need to say this, but be careful around Mr. Knight. He's like me, but a bit more extreme.
Okay.
Doesn't really care for balance." And as he turns around and walks away, he's like, "Heads up, kids. Tomorrow we go to work."
And I take a pause from the shoveling of the food.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And he walks out the doors and is gone.
And I'm just gonna keep shoveling food
Okay.
and completely forget that I'm supposed to fill in William, even if he's freaking out behind me. Like William could literally be like stone cold, just staring at me, but I've got purpose.
Yeah. No.
Seeing,
Will, when he's left, Will's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
one thing I'll give you as well, George, is from the ash of jasmine, you smell a distinct like waft of garlic and salt.
Can I scoop up her ashes and take them?
Sure.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Actually, what I'm gonna do, because Will was knocked out and honestly has no idea, and I think he's been either he was passed out from gas or from his own little coma when she burned up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like while scooping the food, be like, Will, get those ashes and clean them up. We need to save those. Those are important. Every single bit.
Will jumps to it. Definitely.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna fill our bags with as much canned goods, like all the non-perishable stuff I can possibly get that we could carry. I realize that's not much because we're teenagers, but as much as I could.
Would you like to play out the scene, or would you like, seeing as the majority of it is being explained, would you like to essentially fade out on George explaining to William as you head towards home and to rejoin Joel?
Yes, I imagine that we're both like, arms full of bags of food and stuff, and we're kind of wobbling down the sidewalk. I'm ahead of him, and just kind of in that weird post-trauma, like,
Yeah.
yep. And then the lunch lady split into two lunch ladies and came after me and tried to suck the vitality out of me. I got some wrinkles. That was weird. And then I learned I can drink bleach and and Williams just like looking around like, anyone hearing this? Am I actually awake? Is this part of a dream? Yeah, and that'd be like the fade out and I'd fill them in.
Okay.
Just like so detailed, no emotion in it.
If George specifies that the lunch lady split at the waist, I think we'll like.
Oh, you noticed
Not necessarily.
that line, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily remarks on it, but he definitely like. Oh, okay, maybe this isn't a dream because I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. And I believe we're going to rejoin Tori at the swimming pool.
Okay.
Tori.
So I think like, the atmosphere here is very much like a swimming pool that is closed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The lights aren't really on. There's just the light from the windows and so forth, like high up on the walls, and the way that like school stuff always is, like way up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
Laura's just
and,
kicking
like,
her legs in the pool a little bit, like.
yeah, Tori, Tori looks like she's getting ready to say something really serious, which like hasn't happened since, I don't know, like with Laura, probably since they were like in grade school, you know what I mean? Like when there was like a really serious drama to discuss. But this is a little bit more than that, right?
Yeah.
So she walks over and like sort of doesn't get as relaxed as Laura is. Just kind of standing by the edge of the pool. And says, "Okay, so this is gonna sound really crazy, all right? But I need you not to freak out."
Okay.
That man, I made him leave just by telling him to. He just left because I told him to. Something weird has been going on ever since we were at the lake.
What do you mean? Like, I mean, you know, people sometimes do what you tell them to do, Tori. Like, one of the benefits of being us, right?
Tori's like, yeah, but not like that. Listen, I think the easiest way that I can explain it is to try and show you, okay?
Okay.
So don't freak out. All right? Promise me you won't freak out.
I won't freak out, sure.
Okay. And then Tori's gonna try and like summon up that same energy, you know, like tap into this thing she now knows is there. And she goes, "Jump in the pool."
As you summon that energy and start to get to that point of kind of, you know, like trying to come on, trying to reconnect to that whatever it was that happened, as you start forming the J, your throat starts to close and it comes out as kind of like a and you feel where you put that card that you were given, wherever you put it on your person, you know, like it starts to feel hot and glow. And the energy is kind of sapped from your limbs. You start to feel this kind of like burning, shivering fever. And Laura's like, "Oh my god, Tori, are you okay? Tori?" And you're kind of like, you know,
she's trying to get the card like out of her pocket or wherever it is. Like she's just like looking for it, you know, like to get rid of it.
You can kind of scrabble and find it and pull it out, and as you pull it out, all the lovely and like calligraphy lettering just kind of fades from the piece of paper, and the you know, the burning, the almost like a fever, you start to feel like a kind of hot sweat going on. At the same,
I mean, she's gonna try and cast it away from her if she can.
Yeah,
like,
you toss it.
Like pitch it, yeah. Probably into the water. if it's glowing hot.
Yeah, and as you do, you hear a click as the pool doors open. Mm-hmm. I can only apologize.
It's our boy.
Oh no!
And a clack of shoes, and you hear Laura say, "Mr. Ashford, there's something wrong with her. She's," and he's like, "Don't worry. Go in the hall, find the nurse, and bring her here. I'll look after this girl." And she's, "All right, sir, of course." And like you hear this kind of like shatter, and you hear him crouch down, and you can see him. You're kind of like shivering, and like there's like this burning going through, and he goes, "So you ran into Bertrand, I see. What an asshole." And he reaches out and says, "I need some assistance. I can't remember what your name is, but just know I can't save you. but you can assist me, and maybe you can learn to save yourself. Blink if you agree.
I mean, I don't know if she can reply or
She can blink.
Like, she's. I mean, that's all she can do, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's it.
And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this thin tape that he unrolls. It's got like scribblings and symbols, and he lays it across your forehead. And you can't see this, but the camera can. The letters float off the little bit of paper and crumble into nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel your throat open back up, you feel the fever disappear, and you can breathe again, and you're fine. And he says, what's your name again, Smoko?
Tori. She says, like, it would be ridiculous that he doesn't know this.
Short
Like-
for Victoria.
Yeah, it is.
You tried to command someone to do something, right?
And she's like getting up off the floor, you know, like straightening herself up a little bit. Like,
And he stands up and crosses
it's
his
clear.
arms.
It's clear she's out of her element when she's not like fully composed.
Yeah.
And she says, "How do you know about that? How does everybody know about this?"
I'm well versed in certain aspects of, let's call it, reality. You triggered one of Bertrand's curses. He likes to be cautious, let's say.
You know, if he wanted my help, killing me is not gonna help him.
Well, it's also not really something he wants to have happen, whereby you're able to tell him what to do or to command him.
I did tell him never to speak to me again.
So, congratulations, Victoria. You're now my assistant. You need to work off around about... let's call it 2.7.
2.7
million.
She's doing a bit of mental math. Well, don't think I can pay you anytime
Oh.
soon.
Do not worry. I have some jobs for you. Fairly simple. You've got to have some friends to help you as well.
So you're just the same as the other guy. You just want my help?
Yes, but I saved you. So you owe me.
Okay.
Good.
I don't owe you $2 million, she says, trying to bring her power to bear.
Your eyes flare green. And he says, no, you do. And if you try that again, I'll crush your throat, okay?
George.
So if she does it in a reflective surface, does it bounce back at her? Like his glasses that are like mirrored?
It doesn't bounce back at her, but
Okay.
You can
it
make yourself
seem-
forget something.
it
I
se-
know, that's what I was wondering.
It seems to not have worked, is what I'll give you.
Mhm.
And you felt the sensation there. Alright, so I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Before classes, report to my classroom, and we will talk.
What am I supposed to tell people I'm doing?
I would tell people nothing.
That doesn't work for me.
Okay. I can just drown you here if you like.
She's not used to having her life threatened. This is like a level of like.
That works even less for me.
You drown a siren?
I was gonna say like, yeah, she can breathe underwater. I think.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I feel like those sunglasses can do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the lady, I mean, Tori wouldn't know this, but the kitchen lady did call him a witch, I think. Didn't she?
She did
Burn the
call him a
witch.
witch, yes.
Yeah.
Fine. I mean, if the option is be drowned or come and meet you at the beginning of school, then it's not really much of an option, is it?
Not really. And be careful who you use that on. You have a very strong thing inside you. You have to be careful that it doesn't take over. Also, stay away from pools, swimming pools, etc. If
What?
that thing takes hold, you'll start to feel some side effects.
But I am literally the star of the swim team. I can't stay away from pools.
You should be fine for now, but if that power keeps growing, well, you'll see. Anyway, nice saving you. Have a nice night. Come up with some kind of explanation for what the fuck just happened. I'll see you tomorrow, yeah?
She rolls her eyes in like the most dramatic, like, are you fucking serious? Like, is this really happening?
Perfect. Have a good night, Victoria. Glad to have you on the team. And he turns around and walks out as Laura and the school nurse come through the doors. And he's like, they're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, she just, I don't know, she makes up something about
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter,
Just
you know.
allergic reaction, maybe you had
Sure.
like yeah.
Yeah, sure. There's plenty of options.
Okay.
I mean, Laura probably won't believe it, but you know, it's fine.
She gives you a slightly weird look, but the nurse seems to buy it. And
Well, the nurse didn't see it, is
Yeah,
the thing,
yeah.
whereas Laura definitely did.
and I think the nurse probably looks at Laura like, you know, are you trying to prank me? This is a weird prank.
This is a weird prank.
Especially seeing as she got there and the prank was already over, and it's like, oh,
Just a prank, bro.
yeah.
Okay, well. I'm just wondering how much money Tori could bring to bear on this supposed debt. You know what I mean? Like, given the right leverage. Not much
Tori's
as a teenager.
like-
Yeah,
obviously.
not that
Tori's
much as
like,
a
I don't
teenager.
owe you anything.
But the other
Here's
thing is that
2.7 million.
But the other thing is that she has the physical ability to demand money from people, right?
She
Like,
does.
so I don't know. It's just a
That will
thought.
be the absolutely most expensive way of getting out of detention ever.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't detention. This is a life threat. Like, he was like, "Show up or I'll kill you." I mean,
And he did do it to me because I straight up was like, "Can I die?" And he was like, "Sure,
I gotcha.
why not?"
I'll kill you real good right here.
Yeah, he has no qualms about putting us under because I feel like if we are not used to him, we are of no use.
I like it.
Period.
I like
I
it.
don't know, man. I have so many notes written down. Like the siren will take over. Like it's not.
I know. That's
you.
what I'm wondering as well.
I don't know.
Good questions. Good questions all.
Creepy.
So
What's next, Streepy?
Secret.
So we finish with a shot of the Grayson farm on the edge of the fence. as a shadowy, hunched over, four-legged figure, larger than it was last time it stalked along this fence, slowly creeps along and moves towards the edge of the fence. And we hear twanging and snapping as it chews its way through the steel. And the final shot we see, as the head rises and looks directly at the camera, blood red eyes shimmer in the night, and we fade. And
Hey, at least it's not Ashford showing up at my farm. That's something.
and we'll finish there for today.
I was gonna say just you wait, but okay.
I just got a new Cecilia theory.
Finishing a little bit early, so open floor for everyone to.
It was fitting though.
Okay. So at first I thought maybe Cecilia was Beastmaster and that like she had an inner beast and she somehow wanted to chase that rabbit, but now I think she's like in tune to exactly whatever animal around her is feeling. So like the rabbit was feeling fight or flight, so she did, and now there's a monster near her. Well, I think it's her house, right? Is that what did you?
It
was
is.
that said?
It is. Her
It
farm.
is. Like, is she gonna suddenly be like, like Cecilia? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
way-
I don't
the way-
know. My
way-
brain just totally flipped ideas on Cecilia. I
You
don't
guys-
know.
You guys
The
keep
way
going
that
for
I-
a hot second.
the-
I really
the
need
way
to
that-
pee.
No,
Yeah,
go pee.
The way that I
That's-
saw it was that she's like a warg, you know what I mean? Like she can like take over
Oh.
animals like nearby. That was like the flying
That's
thing.
what's that word he
Right.
said? He said you got some other.
Hitchhiking.
What was it?
Like, the
Yeah, he called
hitchhiking
it
power.
hitchhike.
Hitchhiking. Oh my god, I bet you're gonna hitchhike into.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
if you're a warg. Oh fuck, dude! I didn't even think about that. That's so smart. I really like. I've just been trying to put together what each of us like.
Yeah.
Basically, what's happened. Like, I think LZT's a demon has possessed his eye, which has been said. Myself, I don't know if it's a demon or not. I have no idea what's going on there yet.
I
But
mean, Chef
see-
Jeff passed it on to you, right? So it's like the power of the void or something. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gluttony because he didn't get to play.
Right, and like Ashford didn't say anything about whatever's going on with me taking over or becoming uncontrollable in any way. However, I think each of you have something that can like the siren. Really, I'm perplexed. What is?
Me too.
What is that?
I have no idea what that could be. I am when it comes to taking over, like I'm not sure I could tell the difference between a siren like behavior wise, you know what I mean? Like Tori
Yeah.
has the arrogance, she has the confident sort of like ability to manipulate people. Like it's very similar to what I would imagine like behavior forced upon her would be by that.
So this is my theory. This is what I wrote down about Tori though, because she has this newfound power that gives her these like it's almost effortless to get her way. That like those arrogant traits will tone down. You know what I mean? Like almost naturally, because I feel like those are like defense mechanisms to get what she wants her whole life. And
I definitely think
won't need
because
that.
she's a character who, when I wrote her with Sheepy, was like these are performative actions to keep her at the top of this like this schema of like society.
There's some depth there to Tori, definitely.
That like yeah, I think you're right. Like if you can just say what you want and have it. That's definitely it requires it's like the power, the effortless power, you know what I mean, that is required there. Yeah,
exactly. It's like I compare it to like people who go to space, their muscles kind of turn to jello and they lose a lot of muscles because they don't need them anymore. So it's almost like a mental muscle, being intimidating, being kind of like
Severe
arrogant.
muscle atrophy, is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a mental atrophy, but it's not, you know, in a bad way. It's just she doesn't need it.
I feel like
She could evolve into not that. Because, like, if you were nice to me and your friends got mad about it, you could be like, you don't give a shit.
So
They wouldn't give a shit. And then you could be friends with whoever the fuck you want. Like, you could eliminate cliques.
I hope you guys didn't talk about the show while I was gone, because I want to hear all of your thoughts.
I would have never. We were broken.
yeah.
Your arm, though. I'm excited about that.
So yeah, what do you guys think? Oh, now that I'm back.
it was
like
good.
Dude.
look
I
to finish
will-
up to finish up Katie's theory, I definitely think like Tori could be persuaded into actually giving into like the siren part or whatever. Like she would be seduced by it and be like, "Oh, you can do this for me? All right,
I
yeah."
can see that too. Yeah.
That's exactly
mean,
that's.
I
Sorry,
think
go
she's the kind of person who would leverage that power if she knows she has it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for her not to use it. And the power to get someone to do whatever you want is like insanely seductive, right?
And
like,
also, it's kind of a psychological fuckery. Like, once you have everything you want, now what good is your power? Like, where do those wants go?
I
Well,
can't wait to see
because
her
then it
at
becomes
home.
like then it
Mhm.
becomes like what is a want that isn't just a whim, and
Yeah.
also like are these people really the people that I know if I'm telling them everything they have to do, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
and you get into that situation where like it's the same reason that like dominate person in stuff like D&D is like a really fucked up spell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're
Yes.
taking someone's free will away. You're stealing their ability to act, right? Like
yeah.
it's great. Like it's a terrifying power.
It's a really dark avenue to go down.
I mean-
if
I mean, you
really
wanna see-
explore it.
You want to see the worst possible version of this? It's David Tennant's character in Jessica Jones,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
right? It's the worst possible version of this,
Yeah.
basically.
But I'm interested. I don't think Tori's a bad person, so I don't think it would go to a bad
No.
place. Like inherently.
I think she's corruptible. It could end
I
in
de-
some
Everyone's
interesting
corruptible.
places.
I think she's not inherently bad, but I definitely think she has like very selfish tendencies, though. Right? Like you
mean-
can't be head of the most popular clique without being selfish.
Why do you think Bertrand came to Tori?
Well, and I left him a loophole.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but I left him a loophole. I said never talk to me again. I didn't say don't contact me. I didn't say don't send me messages. I didn't say
And you
you
don't
know like whatever.
you don't know.
See,
if
I
it-
had a theory
if
on.
it
I don't know if
worked-
it. I don't know if it
worked
worked
or not. He
yeah.
may have just been like, cool.
I had a theory on Bertrand and the other dude.
Yeah.
Like, when it came to Tori, I think she was like the goal and super super important because if they got her first, they didn't have to do any effort into getting the rest of us.
Yeah,
She
like,
could just walk up
she
to us
could
and be like,
just
"You're
collect
helping
you.
us now."
She could just collect you.
She
Yeah.
could be the collector of people. Like she could be the assistant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then this was the other note I wrote down. I did not talk about this when you were gone, Sheepy. But what I noticed after mine was that Ashford just happens to find us all in some critically dangerous situation that he can mystically save us from with a snap of his fingers, and then blackmail us into helping him for millions of dollars. I'm wondering if he enabled these dangerous
Sets
situations
them up. Yeah.
to happen.
Well, because
Like, ooh,
otherwise
I've been
how-
watching The Lunch Lady for months. Oh, but you wait for her to fucking eat me.
Yeah. Like you just happen to trip over this. Like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and Mr. Knight just happened to turn up and scour and banish the
Damn you, Sheepy, for making Mr. Knight the bad one and then making fucking Ashford
No,
the
I
person, the one
know.
teacher Cecilia has been shitting on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, she's gonna have some fucking coming to heart. That's a fun scene.
Well,
I'm looking forward
I-
to that one.
I mean, the interesting thing there is that traditionally, Ashford would be the bad guy. He's
Very much.
He's too cool. He's too kind of like, yo, what up? And then the polite British guy who's a bit nerdy and a bit kind of like geeky is going to be the good guy. Giles, the librarian from Buffy.
Uh-huh. You know who Ashford gives me the vibes of Mad Eye Moody. Not as a bad
he's got
guy,
some-
but like just that like
definitely
Yeah.
a little bit of
tough
moody
love
vibes,
teacher
sure.
kind of thing.
Bit of tough love and a little bit of eccentricity for sure.
Well,
Yes.
and just like happy to blackmail or leverage or
Yeah.
like
I
the
mean,
stu-
he's
like
not
the
a good
student
teacher, let's admit that right now.
the student teacher boundary is really fucked by this. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like
But that
I know.
probably lets you know that being a teacher is not his number one priority, probably.
also
Right.
I,
So
And
I
now that
was
we're all, like,
right.
Now that we have
Being
Cece's always gonna be
vindicated.
right. Now that he knows we have powers, I mean, we're just a tool. We're like a hammer, basically. Our age and all that probably isn't a factor. That's what I got out of it. Because he was very happy
like
just
you-
to snap choke me.
Well,
Like
you did say, in his defense, you did say, I'd rather die, and he's like, alright.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, you got
But
me
also
there.
like the hyperbole, right? Like if
Got
I'd
me
rather
there.
die is like pretty obvious.
Makes
I
a
feel
point, though, doesn't it?
like. Coming from an angry teenager,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Yeah,
What do you think of the different abilities of each of the 3 people who you guys interacted with today? Bertrand, Knight, and Ashford.
I'm very curious if Knight injured me in any way. 'Cause I don't
No.
I was pulled out of some smoky nonsense, but he still hit me with a big
He hit you with
something.
So what he hit you with is Hellflame. Essentially fire summoned from the pits of hell. It is.
Oh, okay. So it's just burn or something.
Well, it's a cold burn. It burns your soul. Which is. It also is much more effective against supernaturals.
Oh.
So it kind of like it's different for all of you. You may have noticed that by this point.
Yes.
Like William has a possession going on. You have more of an inheritance. You essentially inherited the spirit, let's call it.
Yeah.
So it is essentially tied into who you are now. Which means that when you get hit by like a hell flame like that, it burns the entity itself, which is partially wrapped with you. Which means that it drains you of power, it drains you of energy, like you kind of like.
But not permanently.
No.
Just like weakens me in the moment. Kind of
there's probably a little bit of psychological like pain where it's kind of like my soul, but nothing permanent. No.
That's what I'm doing next time. My soul.
Also.
Oh no.
So then he also had the banishing, which
Just eat the fire, Katie. Just open your mouth and eat.
I know. I'm now that he said that to my character, my brain, I have so many notes on like.
Oh yeah. And you noticed
what I could consume.
You have an enhanced sense of smell.
Yes, I did. Yes.
So if you guys want, we can go over the powers a little bit now, more in detail.
The ones that are like active as of now.
Yeah. For the Glutton and George, you have a resistance and immunity to toxins, poisons. Basically, you can pretty much absorb anything. So not only are you able to drink bleach if you want to, who knows why you would, but you can.
Hell
Why
yeah!
not?
If
Is it cheaper than soda?
If there's like some horrible poisonous gas in a room and you need to get through the room, you can just walk in and inhale it all,
You just huff it. That's what I'm thinking.
and then everyone else can walk through the room because you've cleared the room of the gas.
And so if a room was on fire, could I clear the room of oxygen? Can I choose what I'm taking
Technically
in?
speaking, maybe
You're like Kirby.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Like
You
if I can suck in a poisonous gas, but not like crumple the room due to the volume being lost, I must be able to choose what I can.
Okay, but
Vacuuming the room would be dangerous.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the best sentence said in this entire episode was, I mean, if you wanted to eat a person, like, like the implications of that are just like, oh my
a
god.
teacher to a student. I know, like if you want to.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, I mean it's not untrue. Yeah.
Stoked.
George.
George is just like, I'm gonna do it one bite at a time, like that weird guy with the bicycle.
I'm gonna be a beaver.
Yeah.
Mr. Knight gonna get chewed on.
I know, Mr. Knight perplexes me because
Sorry.
he went after the lunch lady and me, and I don't think, like, he just hit us with that blue fire, and it didn't kill either of us,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just left. And so I'm curious what the fuck.
Wait.
I guess he left the black smoky shit though, right?
Well, yeah. He
It was
essentially.
sucking me down.
He essentially like that is a banishment spell.
Oh.
It's a banishment enchantment, so it was essentially banishing you from this realm.
Ooh.
You would have ended up in a complete void of nothingness, with nothing to interact with or consume or anything.
With my glutty
Yeah.
glut?
Yeah,
Yeah.
be unrealmed.
Oh my god, what a personal hell.
The only thing I can imagine right now is the next
Hungry
time
with nothing to
George,
eat.
the next time George meets Knight, that she just goes like Kirby and just goes like, "Time to suck you up."
Gonna be an awkward scene.
Come into
Mr.
his office and
Ashford
I just got my
told me-
legs kicked up in his desk, sucking on some like leg bone.
And then go like, but Mr. Ashford told me it was okay to do it.
Ashford said okay.
Oh my god.
I could see it.
So yeah, that was Mr. Knight, and I want to get everyone's take on this, but specifically Katie's. Did you see Jasmine coming?
Yes, not in the way that she came, but yes, I was very sus of her. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
always
She
the
was
lunch
sus to
lady.
begin with. I thought she was in cahoots. This is honestly what I thought. I thought she was in cahoots with Ashford, who I thought was a bad guy, and I thought she was like getting me to go deeper into the kitchen, and Ashford was gonna come out of nowhere and be like, or whatever. That's literally what I thought was gonna happen. Totally wrong. 100%
Yeah,
wrong.
like she was
Hard
baiting
wrong.
you, but not for herself, kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
And I'm curious because she apparently killed Casey,
Yeah.
but we were looking into the waitress at a different
Hmm.
restaurant. So I'm wondering, are they the same kind of creature or what?
Yeah, that's a good question.
No,
Yeah.
no. She essentially, the thing that you guys didn't pick up is that he came back. She like invited him to come back to pick up some food and stuff for himself, and he did.
Or
and-
like before he went off to his
Oh shit!
so he could bring like a nice fancy meal.
I
to
remember.
his- yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my god! I completely just cut that out and was totally. I don't have to be a glutton, but I am. Oh no!
That's why I said there are a few different paths for you as well, because
Your doom.
Katie's like furiously writing like damn
Oh,
you, Shuki."
furiously writing. Ah!
But yeah, no, Jasmine was a Manananggal, which is
Yeah.
always so difficult. It's a kind of vampire from the Philippines mythology.
Can you like type it in the
Yeah,
chat?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I just wanted to Google it. Because the
like-
idea of this thing, and I swear to God, I think it's because I've watched
I-
way too much anime. But the moment you said there was a red line going through her, I knew she was going to split in half.
I actually,
I was like, oh,
I'll put in the
You've
Ooh,
used the
it's,
Menengangal as an example of like the weird like supernatural stuff that isn't like typical in this kind of media
yeah.
several times, so I knew we were gonna meet one.
I mean,
Menengangal.
that's the one that's been around for a while now, and has been operating in the school. So there it
Dude.
is. I'll put it in the.
That's thank you,
in chat as
because
well.
I tried writing it when I was taking notes, and I was like,
You may have seen it in a couple of films. There's a couple of like B-movie films from the 80s and stuff where they feature.
You know, I think
Um,
very recently in I think it was a Korean horror film I watched, like a B Korean horror film. There's something very similar that split in half, and it was very creepy.
Maybe Sweet Home. That was
Oh
it.
yes,
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's funny that you knew the name. Yep,
That
that was it.
I love Sweet Home. It's a great.
It's
great
great.
show.
Oh, it's real good. If
The-
anybody likes
the-
horror,
The visual effects are a bit lacking, but that's hand wavable.
yeah. Honestly, it's so dark and dingy. It's kind of okay.
And yeah, you know, like the Manangagao, and I'm gonna keep butchering that name.
No,
I
dude,
apologize,
I
guys.
don't. I'm like just trying to spell it. I'm like, how many
Um,
ANs are in there? It's like
yeah,
Mississippi.
yeah. But
Menenangal.
like, so just so it's very close to a vampire, in a lot of ways. I decided to put a bit of spin on it and have it be sucking life force as opposed to blood, because it seemed more interesting and you know.
It is
Um,
more interesting.
It is, yeah.
But they
Banana.
split at the waist and then they fly around and stuff. I thought it would be fun to highlight the abilities of Mr. Ashford when he came in and was like, "Yo, what up?" Time to...
I have been to the Philippines. I did not see any Manananggal.
Well, that's good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I really want to go to the Philippines someday. Is Mr. Ashford a witch? Ashford? Ashford. I apologize.
Mr. Ashford.
One of the first things I thought is that you kids would be able to call him Mr. Ashford.
Damn it.
So you'll probably find out more about all three of those guys.
Ooh.
But no, he's not a
Probably
witch.
in our meeting next Monday. We're just asking spoilers at this point, huh?
Yeah, it's fine. Like I'm not gonna answer everything.
I will say I was really looking forward to the I'm gonna tell my friend my secret.
I'm sorry.
Scene.
You accepted the card. And,
But I did. Unfortunate.
So just to give you a basic idea, Mr. Knight is, he's essentially been every type of priest, monk, witch doctor, shaman.
He's just a learned supernatural hunter, as many of them are, right?
Has he ever been Buffy?
No.
Oh.
He's Papa Midnight.
You could consider him. You could consider him an exorcist, except for a much more.
You're better at it than regular exorcists.
Yeah, he has an aspect of like learning all of these techniques and incantations and stuff that allow him to be quite a threat to supernaturals.
I mean, if there's anything I know about supernatural hunting, it's that you learn whatever incantation works. I mean, if you watched Supernatural, the show.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, who's that? There's a character in Supernatural, and his mom is the redhead, Scottish redhead.
Would you guys like?
Oh, you're just talking about like the witch character.
Is that his name?
Like deep in this? No, I'm just like how early in the series? Because redhead.
He's like
Scottish...
almost Crowley. It's Crowley. Chat got it. Sorry, I'm just terrible with names. Crowley.
He's the king of hell.
At one point, but at the beginning, he's kind of just a witch who's like Sheepy was explaining. Like he just picks up any little bit of anything, whatever works.
So I threw in the two incantations he used.
Thank you. I want to save those
in the Zoom chat. If people on Twitch, the Twitch chat want to see them as well, you know what? Actually, I'll throw them in the
Throw them in the Discord.
I was gonna say I'll throw them in my Discord with
or the Patreon
tags.
or the Patreon. Maybe is a thing that patrons can have.
The patrons just.
I'll
put them in here.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'll spoiler these up so people can not look at them if they want. But I'll put both of those in the Discord if anyone wants to see what he was incanting essentially. Because it's something I came up with off the rip, basically. Well, not off the rip, but yeah.
So it was a
rip
rip-off.
Me hella chills. I was scared. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought that you were gonna be like, I'm saved, yay, and then like, I'm doomed, shit.
That was it, literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, but yes, and then obviously we had Ashford also saving Tori, which. Oh yeah.
I loved how sassy Tori was.
I mean, the fact that she immediately jumped to maybe I can just mind control him.
No. Already.
Let's see how far this new thing goes.
Yeah, she's very accepting.
I was about to test this anyway. Let's give it a go.
It totally makes sense in the situation as well. And then essentially Ashford is strong. It is the best way I can put it without spoilers. I mean, did you see when he picked up Jasmine and like smashed her against the wall?
It did.
Yeah.
I'm scared of him times 10.
And the bind as well is kind of a little scary move.
Yeah, he has to do nothing. I mean, as far as I can see, he snaps his fingers or says bind blah blah blah. Like he is very scary powerful.
And Bertrand, I figure you guys probably figured out to some degree, is a bit more curses and and things like that. He's a tricky little bugger. He is so.
Who had the little imp that was like, I need a body?
That was the intro.
Did we?
No.
But we don't know who that was, right? It wasn't said.
Was.
Okay,
No.
but I had notes about that, but I had no names. So
I mean, I feel like after the 3 intros we've had so far, you probably have an idea of what you may be being brought on to deal with.
Handle,
Mm-hmm.
And or be possessed by.
I mean, you guys are already
Bad.
possessed. I feel bad for the grave digger, because now not only does he have to deal with occasional dead bodies coming to life, he's probably got a demon on the way trying to possess a dead body as well.
Yeah.
Always a graveyard.
Yeah.
I hope we get to meet the gravekeeper. I'm gonna make it there.
Not
get there.
today.
Not today. And yeah, I mean, is there anything else anyone else would like to bring up or touch on or anything along those lines? I think I'm looking forward to seeing things go forward from here, and you know, we need to see how Cecilia's gonna end up.
I'm really
Sleeping
nervous.
through everything.
Indebted for a lot of money.
Sleeping through everything and not knowing anything, and then arriving at school and just not being there and stuff, and being blissfully away from Ashford.
It's almost like Sheepy excluded her on purpose.
Yeah, because she's gonna side with Knight because she doesn't want to side with Ashford.
Oh my god.
That'd be
Oh
interesting.
my
Shut
God.
the fuck up.
She's like, he's not a real teacher. I was right all wrong.
Sorry,
Okay.
the cogs in my brain are going now. I'm like,
Same. How dare you?
Oh wait, is Cecilia going to be the Green Ranger? I'm glad you got that reference.
Serious, how dare you?
Am I the only one? Okay.
You're the only one. Take joy in that.
I don't know if I take joy in that or if I just go, oh, I'm old.
Oh no!
Not Tommy. Yeah. Yes, I know the name of the Green Ranger. That's true. But yeah, I mean, God, it's there's. I think we've got a little bit to talk about as well after the end of the show. So how about we hit the outros? Everyone, hot potato. I feel like I betrayed George the most today, so we'll actually start with Classy Katie.
Thanks. I mean, betray is a strong word.
I kind of betrayed you like 3 times in a row, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. Don't sub to the Patreon. I'm just kidding. What's up? My name is Classy Katie. It's wonderful to see you. I played George for you today, i.e. the glutton, which apparently means I can eat anything and suck gas from the air, and I'm really excited to see where that goes.
And there's a few
you can
other
catch me
bits and pieces of it as well.
Yeah, I know. I actually have everything up, but I'm not saying any more than what you've said because I don't want to spoil it. I kind of want you guys to just have to come and figure it out. There's so much more to the glutton than anything. We've like sniffed the surface. We've sniffed it. It's pretty cool. I'm really excited. But you can catch me at twitch.tv/ClassyKatie. I'm currently playing Boyfriend Dungeon, which is I haven't shit in 3 weeks because my asshole is so cringe.
Oh.
It's insane. This game is ridiculous, but it's really fun and actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's hilarious in the worst way ever. There's literally like an anti-Semite character in it. It's fucking just the weirdest thing in the world. But you know what you should do is not forget to use your Prime subs. You should use them here because if you have an Amazon Prime account, you've been paying for a $5 sub regardless of whether or not you use it every month. You're tucking it into the greasy ass G-string of Jeff Bezos. Stop doing that. Use it here, support the Patreon, and get more shows going because Sheepy obviously doesn't have enough to do.
Why did you just fucking give me the mental image of Jeff Bezos?
Oh, that's a favorite of hers.
Dude, do you
and
want to hold on?
No.
I may be in possession of one of the legendary crusty G-strings where people leave their goddamn Prime subs.
Oh.
Stop it.
Look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
Now Trick's gonna rip it apart.
Nah, they have no interest in it. It smells like asshole.
Yeah, dogs have no interest in asshole in my experience.
Yeah, exactly.
I meant like an asshole. Damn
Yeah.
it. Oh, the puns.
Hot potato? Or finish off
Hot
the
potato.
outro?
I'm going to hot potato to William because that poor boy needs to go put some tea bags on his eyes and go to bed.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Will's T. I'm sorry. I have been writing essays and I got 2 hours sleep last night and my eyes are on fire.
It's all
basically.
good.
I have no moisture from here to here and here to like the whole thing.
So,
Imagine Cyclops putting it on and it's sucking out the moisture.
He's a method role player.
And yet he still came.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "Hey, do we need to cancel?" I'm like, "No, No! Hey! But you haven't had any sleep, LSD. Shut up, hallucination. I can fucking play.
He's in his sleep like, I could do this.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
doing great. It's fine.
But
so,
we had a cute little sleep montage of
Yeah,
like
I know.
a few minutes.
Yeah, we only had to ask
It's-
Kelsey to put pants on
I've
4
had
times
worse.
today.
I've had worse. Once I fell asleep on stream. I was the only one on stream, and I slept for 20 minutes.
Dude, nice. though.
Don't worry. As soon as I realized I covered it up and you were fine.
Yeah. You can find me over at twitch.tv/LimaZuluTango. I will be making a pirate hat soon, as soon as I get the materials. Because Bert Black was like, I want a pirate hat. I was
Ooh,
like, cool.
hell yeah.
Let's make a pirate hat. So, yeah, I do leatherworking, for those of you who don't know. But I've also been
Sweet.
playing a Frenchman on Eco. But that's done now, so now I'm just lurking around. Also, I'm an Egyptology student, so we started playing Pharaoh yesterday.
Hell yeah.
The remake of Pharaoh.
Oh my
And-
god.
And
it's amazing.
because in the info for it, it's like, hey, this has been we have taken counsel with professional or what was it said, professional Egyptologists. And I keep going through a few things and like, yeah, well, that they have not gotten their bachelor's degree. So basically, but yeah, it's fun. Egyptologist plays Pharaoh. Yeah, check out the Patreon because that's very important, because without it, we're not here. And without it, we won't tell you to look at the Patreon. So win-win if you check it out. I'm going to hot potato over to Elf.
To me, hello, friends. I have a stream you can watch if you want to. Twitch.tv/DistractedElf. And a Twitter you can follow by the same name, @DistractedElf. I am gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do for the next month or so on stream, because I've been playing a bunch of fighting games, and you know what you can't play with a broken arm? Things with a fight stick. It's very difficult.
You could decorate your cast.
You could play Blood Bowl.
That's my plan. Blood Bowl is gonna be
Yeah.
it's on the docket. Blood Bowl's on the docket. Don't you?
It's almost like I
worry.
know you.
I was gonna say Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress is also, Stellaris, Crusader Kings. We got lots of
Oh, I
options.
love
yeah.
Stellaris.
But not Guitar
Um,
Hero or Beat Saber.
I'll tell you what, because we had such a good show today, I'll drop a little random idea I had.
Ooh.
Crusader Kings 3 roleplay show.
Oh no!
Dude.
The problem is
That'd
the
be
AI.
sick.
The AI would not play ball.
No. What you would do is you'd have a kingdom, everyone part of the kingdom. You do a year, and then go to an overlay and roleplay out a meeting between all of your characters, and then go back and do another year, and
That might be cool, but it might be better do it in Europa instead of Crusader Kings, because otherwise someone's gonna end up as a duke and someone's gonna end up as an emperor.
I mean, yeah.
I don't see the problem.
possibly, But
There's
then-
no problem with that.
Yeah, you don't have the characters otherwise. The characters are all of the fun of Crusader Kings. You want to play a lunatic with smallpox? Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I want to be
Also-
a crazy king's advisor.
Sorry, Elf. I took over your outro.
No, that's
Oh.
okay. I finished basically.
Oh.
Go to my stream and follow it, and maybe I'll do a stream incentive that's pay $5 and I'll sign my cast with your username. That'll be
Oh
fun.
my god.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, let's go Cyrix.
Hey. I'm Cyrix. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as such. You know what hasn't been mentioned yet, which I find astonishing? Patreon.
What's Patreon?
So if you know when we were joking about how if you were to go to the Patreon and subscribe that would mean more of us. Basically it's not a lie though, it's kinda true. So if you liked it, maybe go there, maybe have a little sneak peek. And if you don't voluntarily want to do that, Tori can always look at you kindly in the eye and
It's
just
true.
say that you should go and check out the Patreon right about now. And she doesn't need siren powers for that, because what she has as being like an actual mean girl and being the boss bitch, the alpha, Awu. But yeah, other than that, that's all I'm gonna shout out right now. It was great. Let's see how next week I avoid Ashford and I sleep through a peaceful night. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Sheepy, for acknowledging that, and I'll throw it to you as well then.
Contractually binded. Peaceful nights. Yeah.
I
Hello,
don't
guys.
believe you.
I'm Sheepdog. This has been the QT. I've very much enjoyed doing this show so far, and we have many, many more interesting things to happen as we go. So yeah, check out the Patreon, check out the Twitter, check out the Discord if you want to get notified and stay up to with shows and things going on. I'm just gonna go and we're gonna hit an outro. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and we will all see you next week.
Da